Yeah,
start
let's get a
recording as
recording
well.
bot.
Yeah, get the recording bot, but I'll also like start my own recording.
Yeah. Yeah, do your own recording and then recording bot just for safe measure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pawa's in here. We can get started. Toji versus Kashimo. Let's go. I think I'm gonna get started here.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a few arguments I could give for Kashimo just being blatantly above Toji, just in terms of speed, power. I truly think that he speed blitzes and evaporates.
You a silly guy.
I think where I want to get started with is that I truly believe that at the lowest of low balls, I think a 20% Kashimo is relative to Toji, Baki, Yuta, Hikari level characters. Reason I think
You
this
don't
is
believe
because
this.
I do mean it. I absolutely mean it. I'll tell you why. That's a low ball, by the way, because the reason I think it is that, as you recall, if it were not for Hikari's jackpot, which is a state in which he is stronger than Yuta, he would have died multiple times over. The reason why that's important is because that places base Kashimo relative to Hikari. And as you might recall, when Gojo was explaining this to Yuji towards the beginning of the series, 80% of a sorcerer's potential in terms of the power they can acquire is their curse technique, which is to say at a low ball, he was only using 20% of his power, probably less, because remember, his technique involves a ending binding vow, which probably boosts it astronomically past what Gojo was talking about. So we can start there.
A few things to note there. One, I don't buy the Hikari is equal to or if not stronger than Yuta. I think that statement's BS. Where he's talking about, oh, if he's on a jackpot or if he's on a rampage, he's stronger than me. I think it's horseshit. I'm not the only one that thinks it's horseshit. Maki in that same scan says, okay, cut the bullshit. Like, we both know you're lying, right? So, one, I don't think that's true. Two, even if it were to be true, Yuta's gotten massively stronger since then, and I think Toji still scales to like the Shinjuku like high tiers. He's not scaling directly to them. So, yeah, I think Yuta's gotten massively stronger since like Hikari made that comment on him. And
Wait, my fault. I had to connect to a Bluetooth. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, my fault.
oh yeah, did you hear everything?
Yeah, I heard everything.
Okay. And I don't know. The 20% thing, it's a little interesting because we see this be true to like different degrees, right? Like, for example, it's just blatantly not the case with Sukuna, right? Sukuna wasn't OP because of his like curse technique. Sukuna was just OP because he is him. He's using that 20% that is him, regardless of the curse technique, which would be that 80%, right? It's a very like hotly contested thing in the community who's stronger between like Yuji Kuna and Maguna, right? So I don't agree to that like line of scaling. Even if like you want to like entertain it, I still don't think that's what like the statement like directly means, right? Because then we would see like sorcerers on average that don't have a curse technique would be like massively weaker than sorcerers that don't have curse techniques. But we also see this is blatantly not the case. Prime example being Kusakabe. This guy's hanging with like all the Shinjuku high tiers, stated numerous times, has scaling there. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't buy that line of scaling.
Let's get started with the first thing you said. So the main reason is that you don't believe, or one of the main reasons you don't believe that Hikari is actually equal to or stronger than Yuta is because Maki disagrees with it. I mean, that's great. Maki's a bitch who needs classes to see curses, does not have a lot of experience.
Not too much now.
It's just true. It's just true. Look, she's not the greatest authority on sorcery, considering that for most of her life, even up to the point where she gets her heavenly restriction, she's just not in tune with cursed energy like that. But I want to remind you who does agree with the statement. Yuta thinks that it's true. Okay, that's one of the people involved in the statement. Hikari thinks it's true.
Also,
that's the other person involved in the statement. Gojo thinks it's true. Gojo, the person with a special characteristic in the sixth eyes that literally allows him to evaluate cursed energy levels and cursed energy manipulation, thinks it's true. So we have the two people in the statement who think it's true.
None of them say that.
The most. Wait, Gojo literally says
Gojo
Hikari reminds Yuta, chapter 233 or 234, JJK, when he's trying to jump in to help Gojo with Agito and Maharaga. Hikari says, no, don't go in. Remember, Gojo said we can only go in if either of us, I think it was the statement was like, if he gets either of us, what was it? If he gets weaker than either of us, which implies
if he either gets weak, no, I think he just said colloquially weaker than them, right? So I don't think it was specifically on Yuta and Hikari. I think it was originally translated to Yuta, but like I think that was a mistranslation.
No, I think it was it was all. I remember on the day of the leak, it was them, and to this day, because I checked it today,
the
translations on the sites I was on still said them.
Yeah, I think
do
it's
think that
them.
implies relativity.
Yeah, I think it implies relativity, but also implies relativity to like everybody there. And there's a vast degree of difference between the
Oh wait,
characters there. So
hell
that was
no, hell no, hell no,
what? Kashimo's
hell
there.
no. Oh wait. It's specifically wait. There's
You don't think it's
specifically
a
talking
gap
about.
between Kashimo and
No, I
Hikari?
don't. Wait, I don't think so because Akari is saying it's not like them as a collective group. I can find the
You
scan for
just
you.
you
It's
do
literally a reference
backtracking.
to him and Akari.
You
No,
just
it's
said
not
you
a.
don't
Wait,
think you just said you
wait, do
don't
you
think
think when I
You just said you don't
think when
think
I said
Kashimo
Bam, I
is
meant the
massively
entire
stronger than
group?
Guys,
Hikari,
Wait,
but
wait,
by
wait.
your
You think when I said
scaling,
Bam? Wait, what do you think I'm backtracking on?
Kashimo is
Quick clarify.
5 times stronger than
Yes.
Hikari. By
Yes.
your scaling, he's
Yeah.
five
Wait, what
times
do you think?
stronger.
What do you think I'm backtracking on?
I asked you a second ago, do you not think Kashimo is massively stronger than Hikari? And you said no.
No, I did. Okay, maybe I didn't hear you say that, but I would not have said no to that. I think he
Okay,
is
I'm
massively
not gonna
stronger.
harp on it then.
What
I'm
I'm
not gonna
saying
harp
is
on it. I
that
believe you.
Gojo. What I'm saying is that when Hikari reminds Yuta that Gojo said that, that is Hikari reminding Yuta that Gojo himself, arguably the most accurate source of information for scaling somebody's power level, given his 6 eyes, seems to think they're on the same level. Like that, there's just no contradiction for them being on the same level. There's no contradiction.
I think there's a few things to note there. One, we know they're not on the same level because Hikari isn't a special grade, right? Two, we know they're not on the
What?
same level because
What does that
Hikari's not
mean?
a special grade.
Wait, what does that mean? What
He doesn't
qualifies
reach
special?
the threshold. Well, whatever the threshold is, there's clearly a heavy strength correlation
Wait,
between rank
wait.
and like sorcery power.
Oh,
Dude,
And
don't rat.
he's not a
Don't
special
rat.
grade.
Wait, don't rat.
No,
We
no,
know.
this
Wait,
is
don't
this is
rat.
a sub point.
I know you know the threat because the only inkling that we're given of what a threshold is the ability to overthrow a nation. Kenjaku says it, and it's the implication as to
Yeah,
why
but
Principal Yaga, who is
it's
not a
based off
crazy
of
powerhouse.
merit and power. It's
Yeah,
based off of merit and power. This is
power's a part of
low.
it. It's not all of it.
Yeah, I know. It's not. It is just a part of it, right? But it is a pretty
Okay.
significant part, right? This is a little headcanony, but like I'm like 90% sure how Gojo and Geto got their special grade. What's it called? Designation is by beating Toji. I think that was specifically their credentials.
Okay, I would agree with you that a part of it is power, but by admission, you just admitted that there's a whole other part of it that has to analyze
Well,
whether or
yeah.
not
I mean,
you can
like I
overthrow a
said,
nation. To be clear, to be clear, it's very obvious
Uh-huh.
why Gojo and it's very obvious why they're special grades. Geto has a literal army, which would be conducive to overthrowing a nation, and Gojo will never run out of cursed energy. Nobody can touch him, and he could just wipe out entire
then are you
structures and
saying
buildings.
Hikari
Hollow.
doesn't have anything
But
near these guys?
no, Akari does not have endless cursed energy like that. He might have endless cursed energy for like 12 or 15 minutes. He doesn't have enough to bam and kill an entire nation, and he doesn't have like massive destructive capability attacks like Gojo does. There's a clear difference. I think he has
Then
the AP,
he
durability,
has
speed,
nothing
all of
going
that.
for him.
No, he has power going for him. He
Also,
in terms of AP, speed,
I
strength.
think gets that special grade
Wait,
designation before he's able to overthrow a nation, but that's a different rabbit hole. I don't really care for it.
oh,
I think
what?
the main
What?
thing with the Yuta.
Wait,
What do you mean?
why?
What?
Wait, why?
He becomes a special grade again 3 months after Zero when he first gets Rika again. This is like
the original
this is
reason
the
he had
weakest
special
version of
grade.
Yuta.
No. The
Or the
original
weak-
reason he had special grade is because Rika literally had boundless cursed energy. And
Yeah,
was
but this
implied
is
to
a
be
different
threat
Rika.
to
This is
Gojo.
a different Rika. That wouldn't be the why they
Yeah,
gave
that's
him to him.
fine.
Then what
Okay,
the fuck
but you
did you
don't
bring
think
that up
that?
for?
Okay, wait. Do you
What?
have evidence? Wait, do you have evidence that Yuta cannot overthrow a nation 3 months after that film? Like, do you know that?
We can probably infer that he can't. I'm not sure
Why?
that he doesn't have anything destructive like that.
He is literally a person in contact with the ability to copy other people's moves and abilities next to people who do have.
Can he copy a
country
fucking
overthrowing
missile? Can he copy a nation's missile?
Wait, you know what he could do? Like, I can
What?
give you a very
Is
easy.
he gonna Jacob's ladder every single
pass.
government building?
He
What?
could take
He's only
Yaga's ability.
destructive in
He
his
could
own
literally take
domain.
Yaga's ability. Okay, so what stops him from taking Yaga's ability and just overthrowing a nation? Like it's very obvious that they're.
Are you talking about
pathways for him to do that.
which? Are you talking about the fucking
Principal
panda
Yaga
making?
with the ability
Yeah.
to create the ability to create armies. There are very obvious pathways for Yuta to overthrow nations, which are not applicable to Hikari. It's not because Hikari lacks power; it's because Yuta has the versatility and ability to make it so.
I don't even know if Yuta's copied that. I don't know if he's met the records of copying that. We know it's not just off of actually we don't even know exactly what's what is needed to copy, because at first we're told he just can copy anything with no restriction, and then later there's restrictions.
That was true.
Oh, then he actually see it,
That
and
was
then
true.
actually Rika needs to. Yeah,
that
I'm not
was
saying all
true.
these are. I'm not saying all these are bad. I'm just saying this is the series presents contradicting viewpoints on what it is needs
But
to
it's
copy.
not. It's not. It's
And
not.
also, a different point
Wait, to
says
be
that
clear,
you
it's
need
not
to eat it.
contradicting. Wait, it's not contradicting. Wait, hold on. It's not contradicting. You yourself admitted it was a different version of Rika after the events of Volume Zero, which is to say, the version of Volume Zero Rika, who's a threat to Gojo, who had boundless cursed energy, she could do it unconditionally. But after her spirit was cascaded to the afterlife or whatever, after it's a different form of Rika, as you admitted, then it does have that.
Kenjaku makes that statement. He makes a
What
statement about
statement?
Yuta. About
Okay.
the unconditional copy. I assume that's the statement we're talking about.
No, it was literally. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was stated either in
I'm pretty sure
perspective of Volume
he
Zero
says it.
or in Volume Zero.
I'm like 80% sure.
I
I
could
think
be
that
wrong.
he might have only said this about the boundless cursed energy, but this goes into my other point of scaling that Gojo himself, when he's talking about Kenjaku stopping Kenjaku, he only says, "Oh, there's somebody out there that's gonna stop you." He doesn't say Hikari. He doesn't say Yuhi. He doesn't say nobody else. He says Yuta. Kenjaku backs this up. And I think in there he says,
Dude, styles make
copy without
fights.
limitation.
Dude, styles make fights. Yes, styles make fights. We know specifically that Rika is a great counter to cursed spirits. That's specifically why Yuta used Rika to handle the curses that fled Kenjaku's body post his death. Hikari is not a stylistic matchup against Kenjaku in the way that
Extrapolate
Yuta
on
is.
that, because Rika could be good against curses. Doesn't mean she can go up to Sukuna.
No,
And beat him.
she literally took out his entire cursed army that was left after his
Yeah,
death.
no,
She is
I
a
could
much
believe that.
better.
Yeah, but those are like low tier,
Okay.
like fodder fucking spirits. I
Okay,
don't really care
wait,
for that
but let's
relevancy
think
at all.
about it. But let's put it down on a piece of paper. Not only does he have Rika who did that, he
Mhm.
also has a variety of curse techniques and hacks, which could counter the fact that Kenjaku has a variety of curse techniques and hacks. Presumably he
You're
has a good
making a
domain
lot.
expansion.
You're
I'm just
making
saying,
a lot
there's a
of
lot on
jumps.
paper.
Yeah, but you're
That's
making a
not a
lot of
jump.
like the. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even think Gojo says his name. Gojo just says there's a guy that's gonna stop you, and then Kenjaku says, "Oh, Yuta Akotsuka." Like they're both on the same page on who the strongest sorcerer is.
Wait,
He's
that's not what he said.
called.
That's not what he
He's
says.
not called the
That's
second
not what he says.
strongest
That's
sorcerer
not what
for
he
no
says.
reason.
Wait. I feel like this maybe you're misremembering or something.
I can try to find it.
What Gojo specifically says is, don't you remember the person who originally kicked
Oh
our
yeah,
bodies out?
sure. No, you are
So,
right.
so of course Kenjaku knew he was talking about Yuta. So I mean the point stands. Look, if you want to say
That
I'm
is
making a
true.
jump by saying if you want to say I'm making a jump by saying that Yuta on paper has matchup or stylistic matchup advantages, which I think is just displayed in the series, that if you want to call that a jump, that's fine. But then I'll say you're also making a jump in saying that because Gojo specifically invoked Yuta, he doesn't think that Hikari is on that level of power. When we have statements from Gojo that indicate he does think Hikari is on Yuta's level.
Whoa. I didn't say he's not on that like level generally. Hey, Hikari, by all admissions, is portrayed at this point of the story to be like on the same tier as Yuta. No one's denying that. But we clearly see that it over and over that is just not the case. Not only is he performing better in the culling games than anything Hikari showcases, once again, Yuta gets massively stronger from that point on. And once again, it doesn't defeat the Gojo scan of him saying, "Oh, Yuta would defeat you," by saying, "Oh, Hikari was on the level." No, he could just think Hikari is just weaker than Yuta, still on that tier. Which, I mean, I'm sure he believes it, but I don't even know if Gojo, at this point of the story, has knowledge on Yuta's domain. So that's another massive factor. We don't even know if Yuta had domain.
Wait, really? Bro, he was... Wait, really? Wait. First of all...
This early? Yeah, what the fuck already?
Let's address it. Let's go piece by piece. Saying that Yuta got stronger, Hikari obviously got stronger as well. If he didn't, then Gojo wouldn't still, by the point of Shinjuku, be saying that
We know he
Hikari
didn't get nearly as strong because he didn't partake in the body swap training, which we know Yuta did.
Wait. Why does that mean he didn't get? Wait. What do you think the body swap training specifically was for? And why do you think that just because
I think it did multiple things.
means that he wasn't getting stronger?
I think it did multiple things, but regardless of what it is, I don't think it particularly matters.
What did Yuta get out of it?
I think he got better, like, what's it called? Better cursed energy control. I think he might have gotten some of Yuji's talent if he did body swap with Yuji, or it depends who he body swapped.
Wait. I'm gonna ask you. Wait. I'm actually gonna press you on this. What specifically, if you're gonna claim that Hikari could not have gotten as strong as Yuta did, even though Gojo stated
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
What specifically did Yuta? Okay, if you don't know what he got out of his training,
I'm saying it could be literally any number of things because Yuta literally calls it cheating. Sukuna so surprised on how they're able to keep up. Actually, we know what it is. Sukuna comments on how they're able to keep up with him physically, and then he's like, I wonder how you're able to do this. Yuta says, it's because we cheated. He's directly talking about the body swap. So actually, we get directly told what it is. It is stats.
Yeah, let's look at it, because what I want from you is I want some sort of evidence in the series that those who undertook body swap training were specifically outgrowing those who didn't, aka Hikari. Because, like I said, why I find this so hard to believe is because if that were true,
what do you mean we were cheating means? What the fuck?
You can cheat on you can cheat on a test. You could cheat on a test and score the same score as somebody who studied the right way. You know that, right?
Yeah, but if I give somebody like a fucking calc exam, right? If I bring like an 8th grader, maybe not even 8th grader, like somebody like an adult, he's never taken highest math he's ever taken is algebra 2. I bring him like calc 3, put it in front of him, tell him he has a day to do this test, and then he doesn't. What do you think the chances of him getting like a good grade, let alone perfecting this test, compared to somebody that has like an AI cheating?
Except that's totally disanalogous. Because for this to be analogous, you'd also have to admit that Hikari got a good grade. So if we were gonna make this analogous, we would say Yuta. We absolutely would, because we would say that Yuta cheated to get an A, but by Gojo's statement where he says that those two are relative up to the point of the Shinjuku fight, Hikari also has an A. They're on the same level of power, or similar levels of power.
Yeah, but you didn't agree it's outdated. You agreed it's outdated scaling.
I don't care.
You agreed it's outdated scaling.
Yuta cheated.
You'd agree it's outdated scaling.
How is it outdated scaling?
You just said before Yuta trained, he was equal to Hikari. I don't even agree to that, but even if you go by that,
what are you confused about? I'm saying at the point of Shinjuku, in the 230 chapters, at the most up-to-date power scaling we have, they are considered equal or relative by Gojo. They both got A's on the test. What do you think that statement means then when Gojo says, I have to get weaker than either? You agreed it.
You're running a defense for a different point you brought up, or a different statement you brought up, based off of the first point you brought up. We've been going down the rabbit hole of the first statement. That's why we're talking about Hikari, right? The first statement is made way before Shinjuku, way before they made those training, way before the Sukuna fight happened.
No, that's fine. What I'm saying is that
you can't bring up a different scan or run a defense for a second scan to run defense for the first scan. That doesn't work.
I think you're a little confused. The reason why I brought up two, I know that both of the statements take place chronologically far apart. I'm saying the fact that the statement was considered true in the past, and the fact that it remained true up until near the end of the story, means that you can't say that Yuta just got massively stronger than Hikari over the time skip of training because he cheated. Because even after he was done cheating to get that strong, Gojo thought they were still on the same level.
We can do you have that scan line? I'm not trying to like scan Junior. I actually do want to see what because the only jump in when you're as strong as me. Because I think you know my opinion. I do think that scan is horseshit, because I think basically half of that roster there was like stronger than like Agito and Maharaga.
Jesus Christ, bro. Okay, it's not okay. To be clear, that's not the point. That's not the point. Whether or not other people there are stronger than Agito or Maharaga has absolutely nothing to do with why they weren't allowed on the battlefield. The reason they weren't allowed on the battlefield was because they were concerned that because Sukuna was holding back on the off chance that he beat Gojo and had to fight the students after, he was holding back. But if the students went onto the battlefield and Sukuna saw the opportunity to go all out, he could just end it all right there. That's discussed in the same chapter, mere panels before the statement we're talking about.
Wait. He only said he'd get in their way. He didn't add all that extra part. I'm like 90%.
They do say that. Kusakabe says that there's a possibility, or either Hikari or Kusakabe say there's a possibility if they go in, Sukuna might no longer have a reason to hold back so we can fight the students later, and might unleash a full-scale attack that would just wipe all of them out.
Yeah, but hold on. One, that like wouldn't even make sense, because we know like the only full-scale attack, the only thing that fits that prescription is his domain. We know he doesn't have access to it at this point. It got burnt out, right? Two, hold on. Let me fucking scroll this thing. Oh, yeah. Two, I still don't think Hikari skills this like this. Because look at it like this. Hikari, seemingly from everything we see, is physically below Arame, right? physically below somebody like Arame, right? Arame, the only interactions we see them, they're going hand to hand, or Arame is just blowing his arms up, right? Now, this is because of his ice, but the ice is determinant of scaling, right? And now this is especially bad for Hakari, because a Maki that is hold on, wait. A Maki that is probably weaker than Yuta. Oh.
I have not heard anything you've said in the last 40 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll restart. I'm gonna just get to the second one. I completely forgot what the first point is. I can get.
You
back
still
to
want me
later
to send the scans that I'm talking about?
No, Gizbob sent it.
Oh, Gizbob sent it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yo, Gizbob, you're a goat, bro.
I think I don't even remember the first point I made. The second point that I made was basically no matter like what line of scaling you want to like go down, it still would be like horribly inconsistent for Hakari to be anywhere like stat wise near like these people, because we see Hakari in the present tense getting absolute like literally stalemating Arame, which is crazy because Arame, for all we know,
I
has
said an
nothing.
anti-feed. That's the same person who one-shotted your goat Maki, who's equal to Toji.
Whoa. This is the scaling I was about to bring up. That exact feat actually kills your argument, because we know what's it called? Like Arame is massively above Hakari in stats. The main reason we know this is because she's able to blow up his arms. Literally, she freezes him and it just completely shatters. So we know to some degree, Arame's ice is like directly like lethal AP, right? So now we look at Arame doing that shit on a much weaker Maki compared to present tense, and a Maki that's probably weaker than Yuta back then and now, and by all means should be weaker than Hakari by your logic, right? But this Maki tanked a max output blast from Arame, and for all we know, she got frozen for like 10 seconds.
What do you mean tanked? Wait.
She took no damage. We know it's a lethal. We know this does lethal damage. If it did lethal damage,
it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't. Okay, hold on. It can do lethal damage. It can do lethal damage.
Yeah, maximum output would probably do lethal output.
Maximum output.
Yes,
hold on. Maximum output. All that it did was freeze. Okay, to be clear, just because you're using maximum output doesn't mean you're going for a lethal strike. I don't think that follows. Because if you remember, Arame uses similarly devastating techniques as far back as Shibuya against much weaker characters than the heavy hitters, and they survive. I don't think Arame is always trying to kill people. I don't think Arame is always going for the lethal shot. Of course, it makes sense that she would in the Battle of Shinjuku, but I don't think what you're saying necessarily
Are you talking about when Arame shows up to the battlefield and freezes everything?
She froze Chozo. Didn't Chozo survive?
One. I don't know if that was a max output. I don't remember. But even though that was the case, Arame had to freeze. Arame had to freeze a lot of people. Mahito was there. Yuji was there. It was like dozens of sorcerers that she needed to freeze. Yeah. So that doesn't really choose anything. It's a weaker attack.
Okay, wait.
On, like,
that hurts your argument. That hurts your argument. Because when Arame froze Maki, she wasn't just freezing Maki. She was freezing other people. But when Arame was freezing Akari's arms,
Arame specifically says he focuses on Maki. Like he concentrates it on Maki.
Like in the same way Dagon focuses on Nanami and Naobito, I guess. But that still means that attention's being diverted. It's not all on Maki, like it was on Hakari.
What? The attention. Hold on. You're saying the attention is still divided. You're not going against my point. Hold on. It could be divided between her and Yuji. I think Yuji's would be just being like non-negligible, just literally enough to form ice because Yuji's not a threat to them and he breaks out instantly.
When you say focus, you understand focus could mean like 60 to 70%.
I agree. No.
The reason we know this is
I think Maki's close to like 90. I think Maki's probably close to like 90.
Why? Justify.
Because hold on, because even Sukuna thinks she's a threat. Even Sukuna says it was a good idea to freeze her. Nobody's concerned about Yuji.
How does that? Okay. How
if they're splitting it between two opponents, if you're asking me how that helps your point,
that doesn't help me at all.
If they're splitting it between two people and one of them is like literally a non-factor in the fight, can pose no threat to them, the other one is like a fucking walking nuke, and the strongest person in verse and arguably most credible source says, make sure to keep her frozen. Arame says, let's keep her frozen. And they think Yuji is literally.
How does any of this contradict that 60? How does any of this contradict that 60?
It shows more likely 99 to 0. Wait. On somebody you
how
think
does any of this? Wait. To be clear, we know because remember, I brought up Dagon as an example. When he focused, quote unquote, on Naobito, he was only using 70% of his power. Now, to be
How
clear,
much
what I'm
did he put to
asking you
Yuji?
is, it could be.
How much did he
Wait,
put
it
to
could be
Maki?
true. Wait.
How
I'm
much did
saying
he
you
put to
can't
Maki?
quantify that. You can't
Wait,
quantify that.
no. But hold on.
All you
We
can
can
say is
give
that
a very,
Maki was
very
considered a threat. How
perspective.
does that contradict that threat could have been neutralized by 60 to 70% of attention, whereas 100% of attention could not put down Hikari? Like that's what's in
So
question.
okay, 100% of attention can put down a Hikari because we see it blows up his arm. So it, like 100% or any percent, right? We don't know what percentage it specifically was, but at the very minimum, it would be 100%. Blew up his arm, so it definitely does scale to it because Maki's arm bare minimum was
So
still
to
attacked, right?
to be
No,
clear,
let me
so to
finish.
be wait.
You fired off a bunch of
Okay,
points.
go
You
ahead.
fired
My
a bunch
fault.
of good
Go ahead. My
points, right?
fault. You know what? Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
So, like Arami definitely scales to Hikari. That's why I said Arami over Hikari. Two,
Mhm.
you want to use that Dagon fight as an example? That's fine. We see what Dagon puts towards somebody that he thinks is a non-threat, which by his own threat, he just says non-threat. He says he puts nothing to Maki. It was 80% Naobito, 20% Nanami, or 70-30. He splits it between the two. Maki literally gets 0 or literally like nigh 0. Whatever amount is enough to manifest the fucking Shikigami, that's how much he puts towards Maki. Literally,
You're confusing. You're
next to
confusing
0.
the reason I brought up. You're
No, no,
confusing the reason I
but
brought up Dagon. The reason I brought. The reason I brought up Dagon.
I was gonna bring
Okay,
this up
okay.
anyways. No, this is to sign to my
Okay,
point.
go
I was
for
gonna
it.
bring this up
Go
anyways
for it.
because Sukuna and
Okay.
Arame not only both individually but collectively think Yuji is an absolute non-threat whatsoever. He cannot do anything to them. He can't breathe in the same air space. He can't do nothing. They're laughing at him even when he's broken free.
Okay.
Nobody's worried about him. So even by an in-series consistency, he would be getting close to 0%.
They just don't respect. They just don't respect Yuji as a person, right?
Yeah,
Well, okay, whatever.
large reason because
They
he's
don't.
weak.
That's fine. They don't
Sukuna's
respect Yuji
respect
as
is
a
based
person.
off of
That's
power.
fine. What I'm asking, to be clear, you were a little bit confused as to why I brought up Dagon. I did not bring up Dagon to say that Dagon and Arame have comparable thought processes. What I brought up Dagon for was to say that when we do have quantification for how people deal with those they consider threats, that could be 100%. It could also be like 60 or 70%. So
I
that's all to
agree.
say. If it's
You're just
true,
making a possibility
and
argument.
you will admit, you're just admitting, by the way, you've just admitted in all but words and all but explicitly saying it, that this is all headcanon fan fiction scaling on your part.
Fuck no.
If you're admitting there's no, yes, there is. If you're admitting
if we're both saying,
Poizen,
if you're just
Poizen,
presenting a possibility
okay, we're gonna
argument,
wait.
I'm presenting you why
I
my
know you've been in. I know
possibility
you've been
is
in.
a
Look, not
lot
to get look.
more probable.
I know you've
So
been in English classes. I
either
know you've been in English
playing
classes.
just based
When
on
an
skeptic
English
here
teacher,
doesn't keep
hold on. When an
working
English
because I've
teacher,
presented a
when you
possibility
make
and
a
reasoning
Poizen, how does this
and
work in
statement.
English class? You make a hypothesis on a piece of literature. What does your English teacher ask from you? You make
Reasoning,
a claim.
inference,
Yeah,
proof, text
from
citations,
the what? From
any
the what?
numerous
From text citation.
things, any
Okay, so
number of
what in
things.
the text? What specifically in the text is your evidence, not interpretation, not
Why is
headcanon,
there
not fan
interpretation, not
theory?
evidence? What the fuck? You said why in
Because
the text
when I said
evidence.
because there's
Evidence
such
and
a thing as
text is not
hold
the
on, to be
exact
clear,
same thing. Evidence could just
interpretation
be
is not
narrative
evidence.
interpretation. Like, what are you talking about?
Interpretation is not evidence. Interpretation is backed by evidence. Interpretation is
Yeah,
not
but
evidence. What do you have?
no. It's not inherently evidence, but I'm providing my interpretation as evidence, and I'm gonna show you why. Because I'm giving you consistent
Okay,
reasoning.
that's just your
If you're
opinion.
talking
You
about,
just
if
said
you're
you're
yeah,
giving your
wait,
opinion
but
as
I'm
evidence.
giving reasoning for my opinion. If you want to listen, I'm not just speaking gibberish. I'm not just saying this is the case, period. I'm saying this is the case because blah blah blah. Do you want to listen to the because, or are you just gonna keep saying point
what
at
you
the
said was a
send me
total
an
non
explicit
sequitur. What you
scan?
said was a total non sequitur. The
How?
conclusion did not follow. It does not follow that because them being Sukuna and Arame, do not consider Yuji to be a threat like that, that Arame was therefore going full throttle to contain Maki. It is absolutely the case, if we just want to
Ooh.
play an interpretation game, that Arame could have designated Maki a higher threat, but truly only 50, 60, 70% of her power was sufficient to stop Maki. That's totally
Okay,
reasonable. That's totally
so
possible.
do you know why this whole thing falls apart? If you're saying if
No.
Yuji's the weaker out of the two, right? Let's say Yuji's weaker out of the two, he can get some like smaller percentage than Maki. Maybe it was like 60% that was enough for Maki, right? So Maki wouldn't be that strong, all things considered, compared to Arame. Why would he need to go maximum output then? If they're going maximum
What?
output, I would like to think there's a reason.
You know, max
something in
output.
there.
Max output serves different functions from literally going full power, right? Like they're two different things.
It
To be clear, if we want to
it
talk. Wait, you
potentially
understand that? Because
can.
when
But can
Gojo,
you
do you
show me
think
the
that Gojo?
case?
Wait. When you
Can
think
you
that
show me
Gojo?
this being
Sorry,
the case?
this is just very intuitively true. When we look at Gojo, who straight up tells Agito to her face, "You don't belong here. You're not strong enough to be here. You're not fucking jack shit to me." Gojo uses a maximum technique on Agito. I don't think it's because Agito was just too fucking strong, too powerful, that Gojo had to go full power all out. It's just that the
There's
maximum technique
context
served a
there.
special It's just that the maximum technique served a special function of allowing him to crush Agito. I think similarly, Maki can be not shit to Arame, but she can still use a maximum technique to contain Maki because of convenience.
Okay, so
Just like Gojo to Agito.
Two things. One, you would need to provide explicit proof that Gojo without a maximum technique, or in this case, either a base blue or base red, or just default punches, is able to one-shot Agito the same way he needed to, or the same way
Not
like
the
we see
claim.
him do,
It's
right?
not the claim.
Well, that would
That's
be
not the claim.
yes, it would be.
No, the claim is not that
You're saying
Gojo
he
could
didn't
win,
have
because I
to.
would agree. I think Gojo needs
You
a hollow
said
purple.
he didn't have to.
Wait. To be clear, I think Gojo needs a hollow purple, needs a maximum output blue, or needs some sort of enchanted red to deal with Agito. My claim
Then what
was
the
not
fuck
that
did
he
you
could
bring
deal with
this up
Agito.
for?
My claim was not that he could deal with Agito otherwise. My claim was that we know as a fact of the matter that Agito does not scale to Gojo. However, due to the
Scales has
convenience of
max
Gojo's
blue.
ability, sorry, due to the inconvenience of Agito's ability, he probably needed to use max blue for the convenience. I'm sure we can all agree. So similarly, Arame, Maki could be not shit to Arame, but due to the convenience of using the maximum technique and due to the inconvenience of not using one against Maki, that might have been the easiest, most
So
convenient way to
I'm gonna
contain her.
poke 7 holes in this. You just keep throwing around the term
You're not
convenience,
gonna poke
convenience here without even
Yeah,
really
it's
providing
emphasis.
reasoning, right? You provided some for the Gojo thing and saying he basically needed to one-shot him, but I can say that was a bunch of other things. Maybe he thought there was a good chance Sukuna was gonna block it, so he made it maximum just in case,
But
so
I
he
can
would
give you
still
a
do
good reason
damage,
for
right?
this.
No,
I could
but
give you a good
no,
reason
but
for this.
I can
I can give you a really good reason for this.
I can give you alternate
Yeah,
good
go for it.
reasons, right? I can give you alternate good reasons, right? So I don't
But
think
they're not
you
going to be valid. That's just an interpretation game. I can give you specific textual examples.
wait, hold on,
To be
hold on.
clear, we know.
Wait,
We
the
absolutely know.
interpretation game
We
doesn't
absolutely
matter.
know.
The
When we're
interpretation game
dealing,
doesn't matter because we agree on their interpretation that he had to. You said Gojo had
we
to in
don't
that
agree on
moment.
why. It doesn't matter that he had to. It matters as to
Then
why he had to. That's what's
okay,
in question.
why?
Because, okay, to be clear, and this is where I'm going to start drawing from textual examples, and this is where you're not going to be able to follow because there's no textual examples for your interpretation. We know that in the past, with heavenly restriction users, be it because of their speed or be it because of their toughness or resistance to curses, that one of the most common ways that was used to deal with them is to use AoE attacks either as a diversion or as a means of dealing with them. We saw Megami do this to Toji. We saw Megami do this to Toji. We saw Gojo do this to Toji, and we're seeing Rame do it to Maki. We also saw, again, not a heavily restriction, but we saw Gojo use this against Agito because he needed the consistency and the
All of
destructive
those are
capacity of a maximum.
false.
Those are true. Those are not
Yeah,
false.
Gojo used all of his arsenal. To say he hyper specifies this part as his arsenal for heavenly restriction users is stupid because he used literally.
You don't think he specifies using max blue?
He uses his entire arsenal. He uses red, blue, purple, pink, infinity. He would have used domain if he had domain.
To be
He
clear,
uses
you know
everything. So I don't think that's a specific argument that's valid.
That's not a good point. You know that's not a good point. The last thing that
What?
Gojo was, to be clear,
You just
Gojo
tried to make a case
I
that
can show you Gojo's thought process is this guy is too fast. I need an attack
AoE
that can.
attacks to do this, but we see them also not do
right
this.
now?
Gojo throws reds. Are reds AoE? Are reds AoE? Are reds AoE?
They're not as okay. If red was an AoE if red was as AoE as he needed, then why did Gojo specify on 2 separate occasions that he should use maximum blue? The first time to clear out the village, the second time when he was considering using it to clear out the fly heads before he realized that Toji was like gonna stab
and then
him.
he uses red. He uses red after he clears out the village, so he still goes back to red. He's using everything.
Are you retarded? No, he doesn't use red. He doesn't know red until he awakens. He doesn't know red until he awakens. What are we talking about, Poizen? He doesn't know red at that time.
Is that not what you're talking about, though? That's what I said, though. He uses red after the blues.
No. What I'm saying is that there's what I'm saying is that Gojo pre-awakening, he thought that his best move for a heavenly restriction user like Toji was to use a max output AoE attack
He used his only attacks. Wait,
what's the word I'm
you're,
looking
you're
for?
phrasing it. I
You
have big
you can
problem with how you're
prioritize one
phrasing it.
attack. You can
No.
you can
But I'm saying,
prioritize one attack and also
this
use all your other
phrasing is
attacks.
so crazy because at this point of the series, we know he couldn't use purple because he didn't know the technique. We know he didn't use red because you just said his first time using red was after. Fuck, he couldn't even use blue properly because he says earlier in that arc, blue only works like every other time that he tries it because he hasn't mastered the technique. Yes, this is true.
No,
it even
first of
misfires.
all, wait,
He tries to fire it earlier.
No. To be
It
clear, what I'm saying, look,
misfires.
I'm giving
It
you a
literally misfires.
consistent
So
through
what
line.
other
I'm
tech
giving you
do
a
we know
consistent through line.
Gojo has?
Where are the 7 holes? Where are the 7 holes you were trying to poke? I don't
Listen,
see
these
them.
are the holes.
I'm giving you a consistent through line. I'm giving you a consistent
None of
through
this
line.
is consistent.
Megami used his AoE
You're
being the
trying to
rabbit.
tell me
Used the
that you're
AoE as the
trying to
rabbit
tell
and the
me
AoE.
that Gojo
Hold on.
specifically wanted to
Megami
counter
used the
Gojo,
AoE.
or Gojo specifically wanted to counter Toji, thus he used AoE attacks. But the reference you're showing is literally the only attack he has
Megami did
access
it
to.
too. And Megami did it too. Megami
What
used
does
AoE
Megami
attacks
do?
and AoE
We
distractions
can talk
against
about the
Toji.
Megami thing for a
He
second,
uses
but the
the mass
Gojo
rabbit
example's dumb.
escape for the AoE, and he uses what are you talking about?
He does it to
uses
run
the
away.
mass rabbit
That's
escape
not...
as an AoE diversion. He uses Nue's
Yeah,
lightning as an AoE attack when the sprinklers are on.
Wait, then
People
what's the
use
consistent thing
AoE
here that you're
attack as
drawing?
stylistic advantages to
Wait,
what's the word I'm looking for? I
it
keep
just
on
sounds
forgetting
like
the word.
It just sounds like you're saying it just sounds like you're saying
What's the
people
word I
use
was looking for?
attacks for advantages. These just so happen to be
How
AoE, and then
is that
you
the
still
only
haven't
thing you've
addressed the
heard from what I
Gojo thing. That's his only
No,
arsenal.
because they specifically made
That's
a
his
point
only
out of it. They
arsenal.
specifically made a point out of it. They
So they
specifically
say AoE attacks are better against heavenly restrictions users.
Yes, Poizen, and in DC Comics they specifically say I am outer versal. That's not how the fuck this shit
Jester
works.
could show me
We can
proof of
obviously
that being
deduce
outer
that they
versal,
are.
but you're not
We can
giving me
obviously
deductions.
deduce that they're using a strategy of using AoE when A, that's what their focus is in their game plan and their battle strategy, and then B, when they make comments, when Gojo says some shit like when Gojo says shit like I need to clear out this area, I need to clear out this entire place.
This is inconsistent.
What do you
and
think
wrong.
that means?
This
what
is
do you think that
inconsistent
means?
and wrong.
What do you think?
Wait, I just
you don't
gave you a
remember
bunch
Gojo
of,
saying I need to clear out this entire village?
Wait, I'm
telling
you, it could be fine. I'm not against the idea of fighters in fights using different attacks for stylistic advantages. That's completely fine. But then to go say that AoE attacks are categorically and for different reasons, you're not even trying to give like a specific one reason. You're just saying somehow magically AoE attacks on every department serve good utility. No. Let me finish. Serve better utility across the board.
Somebody cut the music.
Yeah, the music's cut on my end. But you're saying across the board, AoE attacks are categorically advantageous to heavenly restrictions. I'm saying this is simply not the case. Because one of the examples you provided, it's Gojo's only moveset available to him. So I think that's disingenuous as hell to try to use that. What other attack can you use at that point?
Absolutely not.
This is before purple. This is before he's
because if he
purple.
why did okay, to be clear, it's not because I can tell you right now.
And this is before he was even able to use blue properly. What else is he able to use?
Heavenly restriction users? So what are the properties of heavenly restriction users?
Answer me the question. You said it's not. What else is he able to use?
Yeah, he could use regular blue. Wait. He could use regular blue. He could do hand-to-hand combat. At that point, he doesn't even know about. To be clear,
he tries to do hand-to-hand combat.
At that point,
he dodges.
But what I'm saying is, but that's my point. That's my point. That when people like Megami, people like Gojo, who have exceptional battle IQ prowess, who have exceptional analytical abilities, when they're going against people with heavenly restrictions, similar to people like Maki, they usually strategize, okay, this person is resistant to curses and this person is exceptionally fast. I should either wipe out the area so they have no place to dart around through, or I should use massive AoE to encapsulate them in a big-ass attack or diversion. Megami does it. Gojo does it. It's a different scenario, but Gojo does it against Agito when he realizes that he needs to crush him over time. Yes.
I'm chill with kind of what you're saying, but I think you're presenting it really disingenuously. You just provided two different reasonings, tried to sell them as one, and then tried to draw a consistency point between both.
I think they're conjoined.
Wait. When they both do only one of them. Megumi only does a divergent. Gojo doesn't use a divergent tactic. Megumi doesn't clear the area. Gojo clears the area. Each one of them only does one. So, which once again goes to serve what I said on my point that yes, different attacks can serve different utilities. That's fine. We see Dagon uses single hit attacks. Ghetto uses single hit attacks or single target attacks. Neither of them clear the area. Neither of the Dagon tries to open the area by flying up, but that's not clearing the area. Ghetto doesn't try to do either of the things you're doing. He doesn't even use an AoE attack, right?
I don't think they have the battle IQ of Megami and Gojo. That's fine.
I think,
especially not Dagon. Dagon's a fucking infant, dude. Dagon's literally a preschooler.
Ghetto having lower battle IQ than Megami, you're gonna have to sell me on that. That's.
What do you mean? Wait, what is Ghetto's most impressive battle IQ feat, bro?
Being called Gojo's equal, being a grade 1 sorcerer.
That's not. How is that a battle IQ feat? Wait. Be
that's
so serious.
Wait. That shows that they have more experience and have reached a higher level of cursed energy usage and like just fighting. Megami, we know hasn't done this, especially because he's been a bum. He hasn't even hit Black Flash.
Wait. You know this is a stretch. Is anybody, bro? You know this is a stretch. If you were listening to somebody in a debate give this argument, you would not.
Ghetto, bro.
You would not. You would not think that
Ghetto has good battle IQ
to be on the same level.
Bro.
We don't know that. That's your presupposition. That's yours.
Wait. Then what do you think Ghetto has over Gojo then, or equal to? Because we know Meme, if anything, thought she was stronger. What? And then we know by extension Ghetto he almost has to have good battle IQ because. And I've wondered this before. People call this a plot hole, but you know his Rainbow Dragon? That was called the toughest curse in the world. We actually just have zero fucking clue on how Ghetto did that and how he just
how he beat it.
Yeah, we have no clue. We know he's able to.
So we don't know. So wait. So your argument for why he has high battle IQ is because you don't know how he captured that specific entity, which means you don't know if the means he used were actually high battle IQ or not. Nice one. That's just not a good argument. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's where I was going with that. I think it's pretty clear that if something is an impenetrable fortress, you're gonna need some crazy shit to do it or crazy shit to break it, which we know he just didn't have access to. Yeah. What else did he have to?
Wait, why do you know he doesn't have access to cursed spirits that could bypass durability? Which, by the way, if you have a cursed spirit that bypasses durability, that's not crazy battle IQ.
I'm not hard sold on the can't bypass durability thing but one, I think if he had it, Ghetto would have used it. I think the alternative that he would have done is the compressing cursed energies or cursed spirits together. But we know he doesn't do that until 0. That's not a thing he does later.
Okay, so then again, we just get back to it again. No hate. The argument we get back to is I don't really know how he did it, but I have trust and faith and dreams that it was in a high battle IQ way. I'm sorry, it's just not a good argument.
So what do you think Megami's battle IQ is? Because honestly, I think that's more. I think that's infinitely better than him.
You think who has infinitely better IQ than who?
Than Megami. I think that's better than anything Megami's shown. Megami's shown.
Yeah, but you couldn't name a single feat. I can tell you about Megami, literally figuring out and understanding the inverse curse technique in a matter of 30 seconds. That already clears anything Ghetto's ever done. Ghetto has never deduced a complicated or complex ability in 30 seconds like that. So we could probably move on from that. Do you want to give conclusions on this point? Because I feel like you made other claims earlier in the debate about.
I made other claims. I think we're still on the same general points.
Yeah, but we've been on it a little bit for a while. So that's why I was just asking.
Then how far do you think we've been on this specific point, and what point do you think it is?
I think we've been kind of stuck on maybe not this specific thought process on the point, but more so the overarching point of the heavenly restriction user shit, whether or not Arame was really going all out or really trying
I think we go back to the Arame point, right? And honestly, there's 3 different ways we went down this. One of them led us to a kind of a random useless rabbit hole, right? But I mean, I don't know, man. Maximum output, especially because we don't really see anything else from Arame other than this mass free shit. It's literally just seems to be he's able to summon ice, even when he uses against Hikari. It's just the same attack, just smaller in scale, right? So I truly don't think he would use max output if he didn't need it for Maki. Because if we know it wasn't because of Yuki, we know it wasn't because of Yuji, right? If they were both weak enough if Maki was weak enough to encompass without max output, he would have done it without max output because we know she got.
I'm not convinced of that. I'm just not convinced of that. Number one, we know that Urame does have control over the lethality of their ice. Like Kenjaku is literally telling Urame who to keep
Yeah,
alive,
and it's doubly
etc.
lethal on
Which is to say
Maki.
they can hold back on the lethality. What I'm saying is, A, you have some sort of failure to quantify exactly what percentage of power Urame was using on Maki, even if Maki was the
I
predominant
I
threat.
don't
It
I
doesn't
think
really quantify it
I
higher
think
than
you're
like
just
50 or
completely
60%.
misinterpreting. I
And
think
then the
you're
second,
completely misinterpreting
and then
that.
the second thing is as well that kind of why we just went down the rabbit hole we went down, but we don't have to go down it again, is that there are various reasons, utility purposes for using maximum output. And like I was saying, against a very fast heavily restriction user who is somewhat resistant to curses, I could understand why you might want to do a big ass AoE to contain them when you need to, as opposed to prolonging it with, oh, I'm just going to
The
use
big
regular
ass
ice. Like, why
AoE to
even do it?
contain them
You know
is
what? You know
so
what? It's like this.
disingenuous. Wait. That's so disingenuous.
Why do we criticize
AoEs don't inherently
anime
contain
characters?
anything. Yeah, Oram is containing them with an
What?
AoE attack, but
What?
that's just because it's ice.
You
The
don't think
AoE
there's
isn't what's
any
containing them.
advantage to using an AoE
No,
attack
no, no.
there when you're
I think
using a
there is,
defense
but
state
I don't know.
path?
I
You
think
don't
there
think
is an
there is?
advantage for it being AoE, but I also think Orame like freezing the entire block was a little much. Right? How I look at it, and I think that this is
Wait,
where it's distinctly
okay, freezing
different.
the entire block. Wait,
I think this is
you
distinctly different than
understand
the
that
Dagon
hurts your
point.
point as well. That
No,
hurts your
it's
point
not.
as well.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
wait, it does hurt your point. If you're admitting that it was such an excessive attack, it froze the entire block. That means the majority of the ice, the majority of the actual freezing power, wasn't even on fucking Maki or
You're
you.
about to concede. This
It
is
was
the
a
point I was just about to
massive
bring.
environmental.
You're
Yeah.
misinterpreting this though. So okay, um, the Dagon percentage split doesn't apply here, unfortunately, because we know Dagon was using separate attacks, right? When he says this, he says, okay, I'm gonna concentrate this much curse energy here,
Mhm.
this much curse energy here, and then he sends two different streams of Shikigami. Now this is important because if they're two separate attacks, he can obviously allocate different amounts. But Arame, how he did this attack, he just flew out the corner and popped one big ass attack. So what I think happened was the max output, he just popped it in their general direction, right? But when that
Uh-huh.
happened, the specific cursed energy contained within that ice was focused on Tamaki, right? So
Like
this would
how? Like how? Wait,
he can
how are you
manipulate
admitting
cursed
on one
energy.
hand? How are you admitting on one hand that he just like did a pain level Shinra Tensei onto the entire area, and yet somehow, despite doing this massive AOE on the entire area, the majority of the power was focused on this one person who
Well,
wasn't even really the
no,
most coverage. Like, how does that work?
well, I don't think all of his ice is equally as strong. I don't think Urame's like ice is strictly.
You could
Hold
never
on,
prove
I
that.
can't.
There's no way.
It's not about like a straight proving thing. It's about a matter of like how does his ability work. There's no indication of bigger ice cube equals stronger ice cube or but like higher scaling ice cube. This
Okay,
is just
let's
what
just
we've
do.
seen.
Let's just be
Yeah,
intuitive about this at this point, because I think we could just be intuitive about this and move on, because I think this is
yeah.
just very obvious in that if you're using a massive AoE attack, it's probably because you want to be able to catch your opponent regardless of where they move to. So whether or not Maki is caught in
Wait,
location
folks, I
A
don't
or
need to
B, you're
prove this. You
sure to
already
have
agreed
caught
to
him.
this.
Wait, which is to say
You already
that if you're
agreed
not specific,
Arame can
if
control the
oh,
ice.
hold on, if the I'm gonna be a little nerdy. If the teleology, or I guess for less nerdy folks, if the purpose of an AOE attack, as discussed, is to be a catch-all be-all, that no matter where your opponent is, you catch them up, which is to say you're not accounting for them being in one specific area, then your claim that the ice in the specific area
Well, the
Maki
ice blitz
absolutely out, he
them.
was
It
caught in
doesn't.
it. Why would that?
This
Why would
only
that
matters
be more powerful? Why
if
would
the ice
that?
is significantly slower. But we know the ice blitz them.
Wait, why would that matter if the I wait? Why does that matter?
If why would they need to do a massive capture net if
Okay,
like
because if
it's
we
gonna hit
want
them
to,
regardless? I'm
you
saying,
you
hold
were
on.
the
What
person who
I'm
you were
saying,
the you were the wait
What
you
I'm
were the person
saying,
who yeah
when
you were
which
the
you
person who
already
was saying
agreed to,
you were the
Arame
wait you
can
were the
control
person
the
who was saying.
lethality of her
I'm gonna
ice.
flip your
Not
logic
only can
back
she
on you.
control
I'm
the
gonna flip your
lethality,
logic back
but
on you. I'm gonna flip
she
your
can
logic back
control
on
like
you.
the density of the ice. Whatever like
I'm gonna
Arame,
flip your
whatever
logic back on
focusing
you.
the cursed energy is, we know it's doing
You're
something
actually
to
so
the
cooked.
ice. And I
You're
mean,
actually so
I don't know.
cooked.
You said let's be intuitive about this.
You're
I
actually
think
so cooked.
let me finish.
You're
You
actually
said let's
so
be
cooked.
intuitive about this. I think reinforcing ice with cursed energy reinforces the ice. I think that's pretty intuitive because
You're
that's how we
actually
see it
so
work
cooked.
with bodies. You see
You're actually so
cursed
cooked.
energy be used to reinforce a body and it makes it stronger. And
You're
that's
actually so good.
exactly how it's
You were the
described with
guy. You
Arame.
were the guy earlier. You were the guy earlier who was saying some shit like, if Ghetto had a curse that bypassed durability, I think he would have used it. Okay, so if you're gonna say, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's a massive AOE that's not accounting for a specific position because it blitzed her. Okay, then that means by your logic, look, if Arame didn't have to use a max technique for the sake of range. If Arame could have just blitzed with a regular ice attack that did not have to cover the entire fucking block,
I don't think
Arame
he
just would have
freezes
done
her.
that.
I don't think
So
he's able to
using your
freeze her
logic,
though. Wait, no, I don't think he's
you
able
don't
to
think he's
freeze her
able to
though.
freeze
Because
Maki with a regular?
yeah,
So
it's
you
at
think
least not to
so you
keep her
think he does
frozen.
have so you think he
Fuck
does
no.
have to use a maximum technique?
Yeah,
Okay, so you think
I've
he
been
does have to use
saying yes. I've
for
been
the
saying this
for
whole
the for the
time. Arame
okay, but
needed
is
to
that for
go
the
all out for
AOE? Is that
Maki.
for the
Yes, I've been
AOE or the
saying
attack?
this.
Is that for the AOE or the attack potency? Because the only real notable
Because they
difference is the AOE.
wait. How are you gonna make a difference there? Because
How are
Maki and
you?
Yuji
You're the one claiming it. How are you?
Maki and Yuji both get hit by the same quote unquote AoE, yet Yuji breaks out instantly. The only seeming notable difference is the power or the kind of cursed energy concentration within the ice, which fits into my
Yeah, that's fine.
interpretation of you would need to do maximum output in order to freeze her, or else if he's able to do it otherwise, he
Uh-huh.
wouldn't have done it.
Okay, so to be clear, you can aim for somebody within an AoE, and if your general aiming target is somebody you want to spend more energy on, you could absolutely do that. That's not contradictory to my position whatsoever.
What do you
And I
mean?
would hold to it that if it were the case that Arame, for whatever reason, miscalculated or mispredicted with the AoE attack, Yuji could have very well ended up being the one who was frozen more solidly than Maki. You have
Oh,
no
of
way, I
course,
don't think, of proving.
but they
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
They
yeah. I'm
didn't.
saying you don't really have any. So you don't have any way of proof. So then you do agree then
No. But I'm
the
showing.
AoE attack
I do
was
have reasons to
okay.
think though. Both of them thought Maki was a threat. Neither of them thought Yuji was a threat. One breaks
Okay,
out
that's
instantly.
fine.
One doesn't. And they use maximum output when we know Urame does not need maximum output for
Uh,
Yuji because we see him previously freeze Yuji without maximum output in Shibuya. So everything leads
okay.
me to believe that Urame needs to go this maximum output to freeze Maki, or else he wouldn't have used it in the first place because she was the only threat there. That was the only reason he's done it.
Okay, are you? I feel like we can move on from this point.
Do you want to get a judgment on this point before we move on?
If you want to, do you want to give conclusions on it?
I don't particularly care to. Do you want to?
I feel like it's useful just because we were kind of going on a
Give
tangent.
conclusions, you fuckers. God
Okay.
That's
You can go
why I
first.
wanted to.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can
So
go
all I
first.
was gonna say is like, look, here's the thing. So we originally got into discussion, obviously. Like Kashimo at 20% power is going relative with Hikari, who should be stronger than Yuta. There's no real contradiction to that he's stronger on the same level as Yuta. It's stated before Shinjuku, it's stated during Shinjuku. There's no real contradiction. The point came in where Poizen was saying, oh, but Arami was landing lethal shots on Hikari in their 1v1 in Shinjuku, whereas she was not doing that versus Maki, that the attack was not lethal against Maki. Which, to be clear, there's no way to quantify that even with the maximum output attack used, that Arame was using lethal intent or had the intent to kill Maki. We know that Maki, and Poizen even agreed to this. Poizen agreed that Arame has the ability to make her ice attacks non-lethal because Kenjaku specifically asks her not to in Shibuya, and she agrees. This was brought up. You can check it out in the recording. So what Poizen would have to do is quantify the amount of power that Arame was using as opposed to the alternate interpretations I gave, which, to be clear, Poizen is very well accustomed to using interpretations. He thinks interpretations are valid evidence, so he should logically think what I gave was valid evidence, that Arame could have
But
been
I think
just
your
using the maximum
interpretation is
technique
wrong.
for the AoE utility. He would first have to prove it wasn't just for the AoE utility, as was displayed against other heavily restriction users
I
like
did,
Toji
but
or
it's
creatures
okay.
like Agito. And then B, he would have to prove that Arame was using it with lethal intent, which Arame was clearly using it with lethal intent against Hikari. It's not clear that she was using lethal intent against Maki. So I think that's about it. I'll probably wrap up that there.
So a few things. He actually recapped a little bit more than I thought he was gonna recap, but that's fine. He went down the scaling of Hikari equals 20% Kashimo and Yuta equals that Hikari. So, but I was like, I called bullshit on that, right? One of the reasons I called bullshit on that, and this was because of the first scan that he brought up, which he was like, he was conflating scans, but was that Yuta gets massively stronger, and we know he partakes in a particular training that we know Hikari didn't do, and we know by multiple characters' admissions is considered cheating, right? To like a significant notable degree. Because I said Sukuna noticed it, Yuta calls it cheating, or Yuji calls it cheating, Yuta reaffirms this, right? Forks tried to like get me to quantify like the difference. I said I don't need to because we know it should be a massive difference anyways because of the reference or the uses of cheating. I also then went to make a consistency argument with this and then said, hey, Arame wasn't able to do any like significant damage to Maki way weaker Maki than the current characters that we're talking about, like current Shinjuku Yuta, current Shinjuku Hakari, or at least according to folks, should be weaker than current Shinjuku Hakari. And so I brought that up, and I never actually agreed that what's it called? That Arame can specifically control the lethality of it. I said he can control if it's lethal to certain people. And I said the basis of that is how much power is put into it, right? That's why I said Arame's ice scales with her, right? That's why I said by virtue of Arame just with casual ice attacks blowing up Hakari's arms, this would lead me to believe that Arame is pretty casually above like Hakari stats wise. I mean, seemingly the only reason he survived those what's it called? Seemingly the only reason he didn't win the fight, even though he popped domain on Arame multiple times, which I also did bring this up. And so we went down that rabbit hole. We also went down the rabbit hole of interpretation. And I said that, hey, this is lethal ice because of it being maximum output, right? I don't understand how you can go all out, something that's stated to be maximum output. Not only is it maximum output, it's maximum and also concentrated on her fully. And then we also went down like the point of how much percentage would be allocated to each of them, which I later said that I don't even think that's how it works. But we did argue about that for a bit, and I brought up how different characters, when they perceive somebody as being a literal non-threat, they put 0 or close to 0 cursed energy there, like on it's verbatim stated. And we know both Sukuna and Urame not only individually thought this, but they collectively thought that Yuji was a complete non-factor, non-threat. He was a pussy. He doesn't exist. It doesn't matter, right? So I think it's actually crazy silly to say it's more likely that Urame split that max output 60-40 between them, and not that, is a lot closer to basically all of that was for Maki. Because I also brought up how Orami doesn't need a max output to freeze Yuji, because we see him do it without max output before. So I think it's I don't know. It seems little ratty to say max output is a maximum, especially when we're focusing them. But yeah, that's my conclusion. You wanna give us your thoughts, Mr. Tiger?
Yeah, so
Wait, my fault. Hold on. Wait, real quick before you do this. Haran SpongeBob, get off Poizen's fucking dick. You tried manipulating 2 underage transgender girls because you were feeling lonely. They were the only ones giving you attention. On top of that, we have
get out this VT, bro. No, you're a loser. Nah, get this Haran SpongeBob, man. Nah, get this nigga the fuck up on, bro. This nigga's a loser, bro. Yo, nah, Jutsu, stop precogging me. Shut up, bro.
Hold it down. Wait, hold it down. Why were you crying? Because a month ago you got exposed for this shit. You were crying. You thought your life was over. You thought your family wouldn't fuck with you no more. You thought that your
he's on his ass.
And then a month later you came back acting like shit sweet. I saw you earlier in chat a few hours ago joking about, hey, what if somebody wanted to get exposed? Shut the fuck up. You're not funny. You're not cool, nigga. Get off his dick. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Tigger, what's up?
Yeah, so Forks won that point.
Okay.
Do I really need to go to like explanation on why, or
I'll take
cool
it. I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna judge it. I'm not gonna judge.
Just Gizmo, any thoughts or not?
What? I think that it was definitely contentious, but I mean, also, yo, Jutsu, shut your bitch ass up. But anyways, I'll go into it after like the whole entire debate's over. I'll get Poizen and Forks. I'll give you my notes on the debate after the debate's over too, so you can actually just read it over and see what I say.
Oh, you're taking notes? That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah. So fuck you, Jutsu.
Oh, real quick. Shit. Poizen, how do you feel about Kinjaku basically saying Yuta is the number 2 of the group?
I think it has some validity because most of the verse thinks he's number 2, but I can definitely see him losing to like Maki pretty easily. I can see him losing.
Like you still think they're relative, right?
Like in what measure? Like obviously overall combat prowess, yeah.
Like combat ability, combat prowess, yeah.
Yeah. I think Maki's probably like significantly faster and physically stronger, but like Rika amp goes crazy, so who knows?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere crazy with that. I was just wondering if you thought as well, like, because I consider Maki, Akari, Yuta, I consider them all to be relative, and I'm sure you know by now. I think base Kashimo is in that group as well. But okay, you said something interesting about the 80-20% shit in terms of the potential, the cursed technique. I think you said something to the effect of Sukuna is a contradiction to that because Sukuna is not as powerful
Kusakabe
as
is
he
also
is.
a
Like
contradiction.
80%, yeah. So do you want to elaborate on that?
I think Sukuna's most of his prowess comes from that 20%. Like that or whichever one is like specifically just general stuff, because we see him like swap bodies, swap curse techniques.
Mhm.
None of it seems to really affect his overall like power level. Like, yeah, there's differences between them, right? Like Yuji Kuna is obviously probably
Yeah.
physically stronger. Maybe Maguna has better curse energy control, but for general purposes, 15 finger Sukuna is a 15 finger Sukuna, right? That's a raid boss anywhere you throw him, right? So to me, most of that power is coming from Sukuna being Sukuna and not like Sukuna's 80%, because he's gotten like four
Sure.
different 80%, and he's
So I
really
think.
stayed the same.
Oh, go on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
I
no, I was
think
done.
I don't take that to really be a contradiction. What I think is that when the statement is made that 80%, I think it's very literally a ratio, right? I think it's literally saying with all else being equal, if you put two people against each other, the decider of who has more potential, who has more power, is going to come down to their curse technique. And yes, while things like your mindset, your intelligence, your cursed energy, while those things do make an impact and those are large parts as to why Sukuna is as powerful as he is, what are those things all in service of? Those things were all in service of Sukuna advancing his curse technique at the end of the day. So I do think that
Well,
statement holds up.
yeah, but that
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
that applies to everybody in verse. This is the power system of the verse. I think it's a little silly to say all of these serve the same function, which is curse energy manipulation. Like, yeah, duh. What else is it supposed to do?
No, that's not what I mean. What I
I
mean
think
to
it's
say
a
is like when you say
invalid
Kusakabe is
refutation.
like when you say Kusakabe is like some sort of like
God
exterior
tier.
example,
Yeah.
I think he's way higher than people who do have curse techniques, but I think it's because not all else is equal. I think that those people that he's stronger than who do have better curse techniques than him haven't fully mastered their curse technique, or maybe his curse energy manipulation is just that much higher. He's more skillful, but not all else is equal. Whereas I think the statement, when it's talking about percentages,
Well, then
literally just
we can
ratios,
compare him
is
to
all else
people
equal.
that he should be not equal to. If anything, he should be lower than.
Like who?
Like Utah. He's comparable
He
to
is
Yuta
way
in
lower than Yuta.
he's comparable to Yuta in speed. He's comparable to Yuta in AP. He's
Wait.
in yeah.
I absolutely not. Wait, while Yuta was out here ripping out Sukuna's tongue, Yuji was out here digging out Sukuna's heart. Kusakabe was landing. I don't mean to be a guy. They were superficial ass slashes, bro. You cannot deny.
Two
He was
things.
not making deep
Um,
impact like that.
It was more it's more damage, like objectively, than like half of the shit you just named. Although those were like more so like him ripping out his tongue served a purpose. All these things doing serve a purpose. But yeah, I think they did better, like in a sense of who did more damage and shit to Sukuna. I think they performed better. But that's one. I mean, they were jumping in it, and like it's a stylistic thing. But two, I think the only style that Kusakabe really loses out on is like kind of like durability and endurance and like being able to hang in there, right? Like this guy doesn't have endurance mastery. But you know what he does have? He does have the AP, he does have the speed, he does have the narrative, he does have the statements. He has everything else that should
The
be Yuta or
narrative.
Yuta above. Yeah. There's a guy
The narrative
some
is that he's like a decently above average grade 1 sorcerer. No, hey, that is nowhere close to the
he's
narrative.
directly compared to the special grades in Shinjuku.
In terms of what?
Kusakabe says to like his student guy, like the anonymous student, he was like, oh yeah, it was Yuta's domain while Sukuna was fighting in there, and he was like, damn, I bet like only like the special grades and like the fucking monsters like Yuta, Akotsu, and or like Yuta and Maki can hang in there, right? And then anonymous student says in his head, oh, I bet you can hang in there too, and lo and behold, he was correct. He has the
Wait, so
scaling.
to be clear, wait, are you talking about Eno? Are you talking about
Yeah, I think
Shiesty
it is,
Sorcerer?
Yeah, Shiesty.
Fuck that guy. Oh my god, fuck
Shiesty
that
says
guy.
Kusakabe's Yuta and Maki level.
What?
I swear. I can send you
Okay,
the panel. It's real.
number one. Shiesty Sorcerer's a dick eater. I just don't know what fucking credibility that guy has. You'd absolutely look. I'm not usually in the business of saying this guy has no credibility. I cannot think of very many things that Shiesty fucking Sorcerer has said other than explaining basic veils and glazing Yuji and Nanami. So that's something that I think takes warrants consideration.
Then
And then
then
number
what?
two,
Then what was the? It was
Kusakabe, and then number two, Kusakabe. I'm sorry, just based on his reactions, I get it. He's like a pretty timid or unserious
he's
guy,
okay.
like
Yeah,
very
you know this
unconfident
point
guy.
doesn't work. He's
He
a
was
pussy.
not.
That's his gag.
Okay, but not only was he acting like a pussy, I'm sorry, he got a few, I guess, superficial cuts on Sukuna. I don't think that compares
Yeah.
to doing
Wait,
vital
wait, wait,
damage,
wait, wait,
to
wait. That's
taking out
just
his
because
vital
Sukuna's a
organs.
monster. Nanami says that Slash is wiping out basically anybody in the verse. It just so happens Sukuna's above everybody.
You said
Nanami's talking about.
You said Nanami said that?
Yeah, yeah. Nanami says that he doesn't know anybody that can tank Kusakabe's like final slash, and he said luckily Gojo wouldn't need to block it.
Nanami
'Cause
was also
would've-
unsure if Gojo could beat fucking Mahito. Okay, that guy
Okay,
low-key doesn't
wait.
know
So are we just
strategy.
gonna throw
Like,
every statement
I
out
wanna
the
be that
window
guy.
now? Are we just gonna throw every statement out the window
No,
now?
no, no. All I'm saying,
Because
all I'm saying,
you're disregarding
look,
two
all I'm
statements
saying,
that both
all I'm
say the
saying,
same
wait, to be
thing.
clear,
When you want
here's what
to
I'm saying.
run with somehow
I'll give a real
Hakari
argument.
being
I'll give a
equal
real
to
argument.
Yuta.
I'll give a real argument. We
Okay,
see people like
thank
Kusakabe.
you.
We see people like Nanami. I think there is a legitimately, at a certain point, at a certain level, you're not really capable of comprehending the scales of power when you really get up there. We see misjudgments, I think, from Kusakabe or Naobito, for example, or Maki in terms of how they're analyzing somebody like a Dagon or a Jogo. We see miscalculations from Nanami, who thinks that Mahito might be a real threat for Gojo in the immediate future. That's all to say. When we're talking about high special grade sorcerers or curses, when you're just regular grade ones, you probably just don't have the best scope on what that level of power looks like. I do think that's true.
Then, wait. So you think this applies to Nanami?
What I'm saying is that it applies enough to where I think you would have to justify statements where he's
I don't think it applies
like,
enough
I think
because
it's basic. I think
you,
it's
you,
basic. I think it's just the principle of extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If you're making a claim that's extraordinary, that Kusakabe, a grade one, who's not even considered the highest level grade one, is basically one-shotting all these special grade characters, I think that
Nanami
requires
Salsa.
Yeah, but that's not
It's
extraordinary evidence.
it's explicit, it's uncontradicted, and Kusakabe has other feats that are consistent with this line of scaling.
Uncontradicted does not mean proven or supported. It's
Yeah,
uncontradicted.
it's uncontradicted and it's supported.
If I tell you right now, Santa Claus is standing outside of my window.
No, but this is
it's not
supported.
contradicted. But
Well,
by
yeah,
what?
but if you show me a picture or if you show me a live video of Santa Claus standing outside my window, I'm gonna believe you because it's a live video.
But that's the difference I'm pointing out. If I show you a live video, that's actually supporting it. But if I just tell you right now,
I can give you support for Kusakabe being at this level.
That's not contradicted.
Kusakabe, I can show you.
So why is Nanami good proof?
Huh? No. I'm saying
Why
Kusakabe has other lines of scaling that put him on this level.
What, like blocking Kenjaku's maximum Uzumaki?
Not only did he block it, we know the anime clarifies it. He like diced it up into pieces.
Okay.
Is that not consistent with like top one verse?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was aimed at Miwa.
Yeah, but it was a maximum output.
Wait. Maximum output and maximum techniques are not the same thing.
Well, he said Max Uzumaki, and when they explain Max Uzumaki, they say it takes all of his cursed techniques. Or cursed spirits.
Wait, no. It takes all of his curses. It doesn't take all of his cursed energy, for example. Like, there's still reason to believe you
but
how much cursed energy.
Yeah,
so what I'm saying is, like, if you wanna,
that's irrelevant.
I'll say that. I'll literally admit this.
That's irrelevant, folks. Just let me get this last sentence out. It's irrelevant whether it's taking all of his cursed energy or not, because that's not how Kenjaku makes his attacks. Kenjaku's big boom attacks and Geru's big boom attacks, the one that he used against Rika, the final boom, those are Max Uzumaki's because they're the strongest. You can say, yeah, it doesn't take his cursed energy. That's fine. It can't get stronger than that. It doesn't. That's the strongest.
Are you a Max Uzumaki because you're the strongest, or are you the strongest because you're Max Uzumaki?
That's unironically a good argument.
I do think it's worth pointing out though, because look, we're talking about reasons to believe things. Not only was it attack directed at Miwa as like a notoriously weak character, but the function of that maximum Uzumaki was not necessarily to cause this mass devastation that would require Kenjaku to put a fuck ton of cursed energy into it. The only real purpose of that Max Uzumaki was to utilize Mahito's technique that he had just absorbed so he could start the calling games. So not only was the function not to be a devastating attack, but it was levied against a fodder character. So all I'm going to say, we have an
what the fuck does the Mahito have to do with that? Wait, what's the Mahito correlation to the Uzumaki?
Because the function was not to be a devastating attack. It was just to start the calling games aimed at a fodder character. So yes, it's
Wait,
impressive
that's
that
not what
Kusakabe
started the
diced
calling
it.
games. Kenjaku starts it after, right before he leaves.
No, that is what starts the calling game because that attack is what enables him to use idle transfiguration, which is what enables him to transfigure or
No, no,
whatever
no,
the
no,
like
no, no,
bring
no.
out the potential
Him
of the
absorbing
sorcerer.
Mahito is what allows him to do it. Him using that attack.
Wait, no, wait,
attack is just a
what?
byproduct. As a
No, go.
byproduct.
No, what? No, wait,
No,
stop, wait,
hold on.
stop, wait,
Wait,
stop, wait,
wait.
stop. This is
Even if
actually a
this isn't
knowledge
the
clip.
case,
Wait, this is actually a knowledge clip.
Before you go, even if this isn't the case,
Yeah.
the exact specific moment it started wasn't until Yuki got there. We see the ground glowing when it starts. And
wait, Gizmob, if you're still there, bro, can you clutch up? I'll find it if I have to. Can we find the scan where Kenjaku's explaining how he needs to use the Uzumaki to extract the curse technique?
That's
aka
not
use
even no. I'm saying that's fine. That doesn't change anything I'm saying. Because
it does
I'm
change
saying
because it does change.
because you're just saying that's what gives him access to the key to
it
to
changes
start
a
it,
lot.
but he doesn't start it until later.
Wait, it changes a
actively activate
because we went from the framing of Kenjaku is using his simple domain. Sorry, my fault. Kusakabe is using his simple domain to dice up a special grade sorcerer level attack, a maximum output, max technique used by Kenjaku. We went from that framing to Kenjaku's using like the Uzumaki, but not really to attack somebody. Is really just to start the calling games, and not really against a character he would need to put a lot of power into. He's using it against Miwa. Like that is a massive difference. So that's not going to be sufficient to say in my mind that he's capable of dicing up Yuta, dicing up Yuji, dicing up Maki,
I think there's a few problems with this.
See it.
One, Uzumaki is the technique's name specifically, so that might be why you might be confused on the scan. But two, we know he can use smaller Uzumakis. They don't need to be max outputs. He uses a few mini Uzumakis against Yuki. He could have just done that.
No. Maximum. No, he specifically says maximum Uzumaki. That there's two functions, one of which Geto did not realize. The first function Geto realized was obviously is a max technique he can use to blast people away. The second function of maximum Uzumaki is to utilize and absorb the curse technique of a curse that he had already absorbed. You can't do that with small Uzumaki. Small Uzumakis are just projectiles.
Oh, that's not explicitly stated, but I'm not gonna press you on that. But okay. I really don't think it changes really anything because at the end of the day, it was still a maximum Uzumaki with his strongest curse in it. So yeah, it could serve a dual function of opening the shit, but he still boomed that shit. It still left like a massive crater in the ground. It's still like the strongest attack we see. Like
I'm gonna put into perspective. Why it matters so much who you're using an attack against and how much you gauge their power to be. Because remember, that was the difference between Ryu low-key tanking Sukuna's slashes to getting one shot. Sukuna went from, I'm not really taking you seriously. Ryu tanked it, and he was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get up close, I'm gonna use cleave,
but
and
also like
one
Sukuna's
shot.
always trolling.
Kenjaku's always trolling. Wait, that's just not an argument. What?
Wait, it is though.
No, if you want to say Sukuna's always trolling, Kenjaku's always fucking trolling.
Yeah, but
this guy is the master.
That just means
that's just to say if you acknowledge that the gap with what we're talking about with respect to how much cursed energy you pour into an attack, how seriously you take your opponent, if the gap is between somebody like Sukuna, who's way more powerful than anybody here, not one-shotting Ryu versus one-shotting Ryu, that's a very significant gap. That's a very significant. So there's three. Wait.
The question would be back: how weak can the Uzumaki possibly be if it's composed of Mahita? This is the strongest curse up to this point in history, or one of the strongest curses up to this point in history. How weak do you think it is?
Since when was it stated that in Uzumaki the cursed spirit's power is like what determines Uzumaki's power? That's just never stated.
Wait. What the fuck do you think the point of Uzumaki is then?
I think it's to condense all those curses, which, to be clear, you can condense.
Do you think when they get condensed, they get turned equal?
Curses are made of cursed energy, so of course you can condense them. But condensing cursed energy of curses versus those curses actually utilizing their full output of cursed energy.
Yeah, but we know he doesn't have access to that anymore. We know Yuki says he doesn't have access to Mahito.
Also, if you want, Mahito was on.
We know they're using all the energy.
Also, wait, if you want to use this argument, Mahito's on death's door when he gets absorbed. He has no power left. He has no souls left. So if you want to use this argument, Mahito's not shit right now.
I
Mahito can
don't
barely
buy
talk.
that. I don't see. I don't think that's how like their scaling is done because at the end of the day, their scaling isn't raw cursed energy. That's not how like most of them scale. They clearly have some like higher level of existence because even if though he's on death's door, doesn't mean he reverts to like a fucking autistic like sorry, but like a dumb fucking illiterate
No,
like
but what it
spirit that
does
can't
mean is
talk because
he
that's
has
one of the
literally
differences now.
he's literally on the verge. But it clearly means he's very low on cursed energy.
Yeah, but
He's
that's
very
but I'm
low on
saying that's not the what
he's
being made of though.
taken multiple black flashes. I think at that point he was saying some shit like my soul's at like
He's
10%.
still a
That was
disaster
before
though.
the final black flash.
Yeah,
So
no,
wait,
no,
so
that doesn't change anything though.
not only was his soul obliterated, it was infinitesimally more weak
That
than it
doesn't
was at
change
any other point.
anything.
But his cursed energy was also drained.
That doesn't change anything.
It does because it does. It absolutely does. If Mahito's cursed energy is drained and his soul power is drained,
But I'm
what else
telling
does
you,
he
we
have?
know the value of these curses don't stem from strictly like their cursed energy amounts because we know right now.
For an Uzumaki,
Let's say
you don't know that.
Mahito was at like 1%, and his 1% is like lower like cursed energy levels than a finger bearer. It doesn't mean the finger bearer is all of a sudden like a higher existence or smarter than Mahito. Or
I
even
don't know what you mean by high. I don't know what you mean by higher.
by higher
Because in my mind, what does that mean?
higher existence, I mean they have intelligence. Gojo saw them once and we're like, these aren't special grade anymore. These are a higher
Yeah, intelligence
tier.
has not. Okay, intelligence is correlative to power. It does not mean that you
Higher
are powerful.
existence. Yeah, no. That's why I said. Wait. That's why I said. Does Mahito become illiterate when he's on 1%? If it's correlated to power.
I mean, borderline. This nigga's just rambling like a retard. He's like, we can go watch
But then
the
he
clip.
talks after. Yeah, but then he talks after.
Wait,
He talks
borderline.
after.
Wait. If you want to make this argument, it's also not good for you. It's also not good for
He
you.
talks
He
right
reverts into a
after.
toddler. He
talks
reverts
right
into a
after.
toddler.
He talks in that
into
same
a
state.
toddler.
No, but then
He reverts
before
into a
and after that,
toddler.
he also
He starts.
talks.
Wait.
Do
Poizen, this is
toddlers
so
beg
bad for you.
Kenjaku? Do toddlers get on their knees and
Yes,
beg for
toddlers beg
Kenjaku?
for their parents all the time. Toddlers cry for their parents. Ghetto, please help me,
No.
bro. He was acting like a fucking toddler.
But
So
that's not what he's
whether you
doing to
look at it on
Kenjaku though.
intelligence,
He
whether
literally
you look
says,
at it from
Kenjaku, this is
intelligence,
perfect, save me. And he's able to understand everything Kenjaku's doing. He's clearly not retarded like a toddler,
so he has the
bro.
IQ level of an
I think
elementary schooler.
he's going against Yuji, but then 2 seconds later he's fine against Kenjaku.
He is not fine. He is desperate. He's
Is a toddler.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question.
To the degree
Is
of
he delirious?
contemplating
Why?
murder?
Okay, you can't have
Can
your
a toddler
cake and eat it
conceive
too.
murder, Forks?
I can show you cases where toddlers have killed people. Yes.
No, intentionally with the intent to murder.
I can show you cases where 5-year-olds have carefully
wait.
lured a 2-year-old away from
I'm
their
talking
parents
about
at a mall
illiterate
and
5-year-olds because
murdered
that's
them.
what you're saying. We're talking about like
I'm
a 1
talking
or
about
2-year-old.
I can show you cases
about
where
a
real
1-year-old.
5-year-olds have intentionally killed.
I'm talking about a wait. Oh wait. So you
That's
really you can
that's
find me
not
a
toddler.
1-year-old that was found guilty of first-degree murder.
I didn't say infant. I said toddler.
Whoa, but you're saying somebody that can't talk.
Is?
A toddler can talk. A toddler can talk.
Do you know what a toddler is? Okay, so he has toddler level IQ.
Can speak.
So whichever way you want to look at it,
he has lower than toddler level IQ. He has lower than toddler IQ.
He has zero cursed energy. He has zero soul power.
He literally is able to speak, so he's smarter than a toddler.
Toddlers can speak. What toddler? People say their first words at like 2. Toddlers are having full-on conversations in kindergarten and pre-K.
Do you see why the problem? You're arguing he can't speak.
I say he's very delirious.
You're arguing he's stupid, though. You're arguing he's stupid. Do you see why this is a problem?
Bro, you have to admit this
is a
stretch.
You're the one arguing he's stupid.
Wait,
you're the one arguing that he's stupid.
Your argument was, well, it has to. Your argument was the maximum Uzumaki has to be powerful.
No, bro, you're the one who's arguing that he's stupid.
And then when I pointed out,
because he can't talk, and then you said a toddler, and I said, wait,
no soul power.
Toddlers can speak. He's not a toddler.
Y'all see this code?
He's not a toddler.
Y'all see this code?
Bro. You said 3 contradictory things.
So you said Mahito's the reason
he's incapable of speech.
Wait, Chad,
and then said he has the IQ of a toddler. I said, wait, how can you have an IQ of a toddler if he's speaking? Right? That doesn't make sense.
Toddlers know how to speak, nigga. Toddlers are in pre-K and kindergarten. They know how to speak.
Yeah,
they're potty trained. They all.
Bro. You think he can't speak?
Have you never met a toddler?
You think he can't speak?
Have you never met a toddler?
He can't speak. Forks, you're the one who said he can't speak.
Have you never met a toddler?
You're the one who said he was going
This is actually so autistic. This is actually
your
so
point. This
Dude,
is
this
your
is
point.
actually
You're
so
arguing against
desperate.
yourself.
Actually,
You're
Forrest, you
arguing
said he was
against
infinite
yourself.
IQ level, but he's actually toddler IQ level. Like, you got me, Poison.
Yeah.
You got me,
It
Poison.
fucking
You got me,
matters.
Poison.
It
Actually, he's toddler
matters.
level. You
You're
got
the
me.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. You're the one who's saying, bro. You're the one who's saying he can't speak, and I've said he can't speak, and then you're like, no, he can't.
Actually, you said he's retarded. He's only borderline retarded. I guess so. But look,
You said he was retarded. Actually, he's only Forks
You-
level. So,
you're the one
nuh-uh.
who said. Look, all I'm saying is that it
Hey,
feels
hey,
very
man,
disingenuous. It feels very. It feels
I think
very
it's
disingenuous that
disingenuous to say.
your original argument for
Mhm.
the Max Uzumaki being so strong was because Mahito was so strong, and yet when he was absorbed, as we just went over,
I
no
think he
curse
was
energy,
retaining his
no
strength.
soul power.
I gave you his
toddler level
categorical
IQ.
strength.
What strength
I
is it?
gave
What
you his
strength is being
categorical
pulled from?
IQ. I gave you his categorical like power. What?
His toddler level IQ makes it a special grade attack.
You already agreed that the difference in intelligence stems from power, right? That stems from a difference of strength and power. So, and then you also agreed that just because Mahito drops below a certain threshold of cursed energy, which you tried saying earlier was power, doesn't mean he loses his IQ. So I then said, given what we both have agreed to, Mahito's power and his inherent power and worth and like scaling doesn't stem from just his cursed energy levels. I don't understand how this is like.
What is this? What is being drawn from them? What is this stem from? What's being drawn from that's giving this Maximum Uzumaki all this power from a borderline retarded crippled nigga with
Whatever
no
sent
fucking cursed
Mahito from a finger bearer level IQ to like
What?
intelligence and speaking.
Justify that whatsoever.
Gojo justifies it. Gojo thinks it's a big enough difference.
Here's what I
Gojo
want you to
thinks it's a
specifically
big enough
justify.
difference to
Here's
where
what
it
I want
needs
you
its
to specifically
entire
justify.
separate class.
Justify that when the maximum
what?
Uzumaki is drawing from the strength of the curse, it specifically accounts for their fucking IQ level.
That's not what I'm saying. What? I'm saying their
That
IQ.
is what you're saying. You're saying he's drawing from his IQ.
We're saying
Or whatever
his
enables him
IQ
to
is
be of that
based off
IQ.
of
That's what you
something
said it's drawing
else.
from.
Wait. We said his IQ is based off of something else. Now we don't know what this something else is, but we both agree it's relevant to power, and we both agree it's there, and we both agree it's not contingent on his curse level.
So the Maximum Uzumaki is special grade level because it's being fueled by something you can't label, you can't describe, you can't prove.
It's higher than special grade level. What? Mine's higher than a special
So it's
grade.
higher than special grade. It's higher than special grade level because it's being fueled
he's a
by something
disaster
you
grade.
can't
Yes,
identify, you
he's a
can't
disaster
describe,
grade.
you
Yes,
can't
Gojo
prove,
said
you can't give
Mahito
definition
is
to.
too much to be
You know how
labeled as a
autistic
special
that
grade.
is?
Yes.
You know how autistic that is? I can't really tell you
Gojo
what it is,
says
but I know
this.
for a
Your
fact this
own
is what's
source,
fueling.
Gojo says this.
Show me where Gojo says that Maximum Uzumaki is stronger with somebody like Mahito because he's smart. He's born
He
smarter.
says Jogo. He says special grades are no longer enough to contain curses like Jogo because Gojo is able or Jogo is able to like talk and has human level intelligence. He said special grades is no longer.
That's not what he says. That's not what he says. That's not what he says.
What does he
What he says is that Joe is probably stronger, probably special grade level because he is intelligent, which is what I said.
Yeah, and he says this is different. He says this isn't a normal special grade. And then when he's talking later to Yaga about it, he says this is his special grade. This is something
because
completely
he's
else.
You understand the finger bearer is more intelligent.
Wait,
you understand
a special grade.
Wait, this is fine. You understand that the finger bearer, who is also a special grade, is also much more intelligent than the average.
Yes, but it's not called the disaster curse. It's not called the disaster.
Oh, the disaster curse doesn't. That's just a title. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a title.
Is a title. Yes, special grade is just a title.
It doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't go against anything. That doesn't go against anything. Special grades is just a title, and it does mean anything because it's stated to mean something. It's stated to mean something. It's stated to mean something.
All that Gojo says is that he's way more intelligent than even regular special grades. That's what we derive.
It's stated to be.
That's therefore.
And he says it's something entirely else. And he says his biggest reason for knowing this is because it has human level intelligence. And he says this before he fights it, and then he says this again after.
I don't think you're making a convincing argument, man.
Do you want to conclude on this? Did you want to conclude on this?
Absolutely.
Sugar, do you want to conclude on this?
Let's just keep the ball rolling.
Okay. We've gone through that.
Okay, then do you have somebody in your mind who won this specific like rabbit hole?
Main fallacy of doom.
Bro, I'm just gonna listen, bro.
Yeah, save it for later. I'm not saying give it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I have an idea. I have an idea who won that little like spat, but yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. So, anyways, now that we've got this crazy disaster curse scaling here, the different grade than special grade because Gojo says so. Let me get into some Toji scaling because I think you've had enough Kashimo scaling that hasn't really got you anywhere. The absolute best that you've gotten him is relative to Arame.
Fuck no. Well above Arame.
That's the only thing. Off of what did you get him directly above Arame?
Being relative to Hikari in base. 80
And you
to
think
80.
Hikari in base is over Arame?
I think he's relative to Arame. They fought for like 20 chapters.
Yeah, but they fought for 20 chapters. That's a bad look on Hikari because Hikari's the stamina endurance merchant. And the one time we see them fight, she's blowing up his arm. So actually, no, I don't think Hikari's relative to Arame.
Wait, so then,
I don't think that's a valid line of scaling.
Wait, to be clear, if they are fighting for 20 chapters, they are relative because
no.
Arame should know. Wait, Arame should know that if she either destroys his gut or destroys his head, so that he won't be able to access RCT or his curse technique anymore,
this is the case
he will
with
fucking
Hikari?
die. Which means
Do you know this is the case
she
with
either
Hikari?
she either doesn't
do you know
have
this
the
is the
ability
case with
to
Hikari because we both know he supposedly has the best RCT in verse. So do you know for a fact that in his domain?
Do you know what I'm referencing? Wait. I'm saying Arame should deduce the same thing that Kashimo deduced, which is either if I attack his gut, so he's not able to breathe or circulate or oxygen or whatever, use his curse technique or RCT or whatever, either the gut or the brain, which will disable RCT or the curse technique. That means that because Arame couldn't do that in 20 chapters, Arame either did not have the ability
Correct me if I'm
or did not have did not have the AP to finish the job. So they absolutely are relative. They absolutely
you
are
already, by the way, disagreed with the first one earlier, or the second part earlier. You can't. I already said earlier, and you agreed to this that Arame is AP wise just directly over Hikari since she is able to blow him up. You agreed to this way earlier,
they
so
can still
you're
be
not gonna
relative.
They can still be relative.
Okay, Kashimo was also blowing. Kashimo was also blowing his arm up.
Yeah, but also, didn't the only reason? Wait, let me finish.
You had no issue. You had no issue with me saying that. You had no issue.
You made two different points. I haven't even addressed the second one.
You had no issue. You had no issue with me saying base. Sorry, you had no issue with me saying base Kashimo and Jackpot Hikari were relative, even though Kashimo is doing the same level, if not more damage. I think
they're both bums.
Okay, wait. So if Kashimo, if Kashimo was doing the, no, don't backtrack now. Don't backtrack now.
I'm not gonna backtrack. I'm gonna give you the difference. Arame's was a casual attack. Kashimo's was in the water, set up lightning bolts.
Wait, why? Why was it
she just blew it up? It was no named. She just blew it. She just stretched out one hand, and it was a tiny amount that only encompassed her hand. But we know she could freeze over a city block, and we know that sorcerers name their techniques. She did nothing that would indicate to me that this is a significant attack. And then no. Let me go back to the fiction. No, let me go back to the point that you tried to steamroll over earlier. Hikari, or what's it called? Kashimo doesn't scale, or what's that shit called? Kashimo can scale to base thing. That's fucking fine. That's fine. It doesn't change anything that I'm saying.
Okay, hold on.
What the fuck was the first point that you brought up? Actually,
hold on. You're a fiction debater. The first thing you said, bro, is like fiction debater 101. It wasn't a big attack, bro. That says nothing about the AP. It's about attack.
Wait.
That says nothing about the AP.
I thought earlier you were trying to tell me. Wait. Earlier you tried telling me AOE equals power for Arame. What happened?
That is not what. That is blood was not tracking. That is not what I said. I said that the destructive capacity and extended range could be useful against somebody with a heavily restriction. I didn't say it provides more power.
Straw man of doom.
Wait.
No. We could go back and check the recording.
Earlier when I asked you about the Hikari stuff, I specifically said Hikari is able to do this. What's it called? I specifically said Arame just does this. Like her ice just has these properties. Like this is just based off of the amount of cursed energies put in them. I said this.
Can you run that back? I don't know what you're saying.
I said that Arame's ice, from the virtue of even breaking Hikari's arm, we know the ice is lethal. I never once said she's able to turn on or off a lethal switch. It's always just been a cursed energy amount. She just blew it on his arm and broke it off.
I don't know what you're disagreeing with. The only thing I'm disagreeing with right now.
Wait. I remembered the first point you brought up. The first point.
What are you disagreeing?
Can't Hikari survive his abdomen being blown out? I mean, didn't he just pop a second jackpot? And then he survives Kashimo blowing off his abdomen.
The jackpot hit literally at the exact right time for him to survive.
Yeah, but I'm saying we know what's it called. Hikari got probably multiple jackpots against Arame. Why is it crazy to say Arame just blew up his abdomen multiple times? He just regen it. Why is it crazy to say she was blowing up his
It's
body
not what
multiple
I'm
times?
saying. It's not what I'm saying is that
Oh,
you
so
are
you dropped the earlier
special
point.
pleading.
Okay.
I'm saying you're special pleading.
No,
The
I'm
reason
not.
you're
What?
special pleading is because earlier, and you could say that there's a difference. There's really not, because the differences you gave were, well, not named attacks and not huge AoE, not huge DC, which as a fiction debater, you should know that has nothing to do with AP. You were perfectly fine with acknowledging that Kashimo and Akari were relative, even though Kashimo's doing as much, if not more, damage to Akari than Arame was. But suddenly, Arame is
I
not
already
relative.
give my
She's
contention with
significantly
that.
higher
Kashimo's was
because of that
prep. It wasn't
damage.
even a normal Kashimo attack, bro.
What do you mean prep?
Wait,
Like, he
wait,
set it
wait.
up?
There's actually a direct comparison. Yes, there was literally the lightning pole that was already existent there
No,
on
I
the
know he
pier.
set
That's
it
what we
up.
connected.
I know he set it up,
Yeah.
but how does it being prep
Yeah,
have
but so
anything to
that's not
do
reflective
with
of his
whether or
normal
not?
AP. He
What?
can't just summon a lightning bolt in his arm and throw it, and it does that damage. No,
Wait, I don't understand. Wait, I don't understand. We're like, in terms of his total battle prowess, that absolutely factors in. You can
No,
absolutely
yeah,
say
it
he's
factors in.
relative.
Wait.
That's
I'm
fine.
not disagreeing that it factors in.
So,
Duh. Wait.
he has the speed.
Let me finish.
Wait, to be
Finish.
clear, he has.
Duh,
Wait, to be clear, wait,
Kashimo
wait.
is
So he
able
has
to
the. He has.
hypothetically set
Wait,
up
he
that
has.
same lightning rod.
Wait,
Duh,
don't
he's
tell
able
me
to do
to.
it. But we know for sure that he's probably almost certainly not doing that because he didn't do it against Sukuna. So
But
it's probably not
that's
one of the more
fine.
effective
I
things.
don't care.
And
I
then,
don't care if he
why
needs
bring it
prep.
up?
I don't care if he needs prep. I don't care if he needs prep because
Then
he
why
has the
bring it up? You're the
speed.
one who decided to
Because he could just do it casually against Akari level opponents. Against
Wait.
Akari
So
level opponents, he
you
has
think
the
he's
speed to
faster
set
than
up his prep.
Toji?
So his overall his overall battle prowess, combat prowess is tantamount to Arame, because even if Arame could do it with her regular curse technique, whereas he needs to set it up, he has the speed, battle IQ, combat ability overall to have that same effect. He's effectively and functionally on the same level as
This
Akari and
is
Arame in
circular.
base.
This is circular.
I don't care. I don't care if he needs. To be clear, also the prep is
This is
not crazy. The prep
circular.
is I need to punch you 2 or 3 times, and then I have a sure hit that could take your fucking head off. That's the
Yeah,
prep.
but he needs to
has
actually
nothing to do with
physically
his
set up the
Batman
rod.
level. Which he can, because he's fast enough to keep up with Jackpot Hikari.
Yeah, he's fast enough to
base.
keep up with Jackpot Hikari, but
In
okay,
base.
but that's okay. That's fodder.
So he's
They
on the
have
same
no
speed
speed
as
scaling.
Arame. He's just as
No,
fast as Arame
you
then.
can't prove that.
If Arame
Okay.
was massively faster than Hikari, she wouldn't have taken 20 chapters. She would have just blown
No,
his head off. She would have
but
speed blitzed
if he's constantly popping jackpots, it doesn't matter how fast she is. They're gonna be stuck in perpetual jackpot popping back and forth.
Wait,
I think
wait, Jackpot. Wait, if you have your head destroyed, if you have your brain destroyed, it doesn't matter if you're in Jackpot. Kashimo.
Wait.
You're backtracking. Kashimo literally
You're backtracking. You're backtracking.
How
You're
is that a
backtracking.
How is that a backtrack? How is that a backtrack? How is that a backtrack?
Earlier, you said, "Oh, Arame could have gone for the abdomen or for the head, and then that would be the thing." But the fact that she didn't knows that, or the fact that she couldn't knows that we know she didn't, or some shit like that, something along those lines.
You didn't try. Wait, you didn't try.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I responded and said, hey, it doesn't, just because Hakari's alive doesn't mean she's incapable of doing that. We know Kashimo was able to fulfill one of them, but it didn't kill him because his domain was still up. His jackpot was still up. We also know
that's not why it didn't kill him. That's not why it didn't kill him. That is not why it didn't kill him. The reason it didn't kill him is
his jackpot popped at the exact same time.
No, that was the abdomen one. That was the abdomen one. Abdomen one. What I said is that the head one was inescapable death. The only reason he survived the head one was because he had the bright idea of just, I don't know, exhaling the lightning out of his nose. Is it escapable death for
Hikari?
What?
Is it escapable death for Hikari, the #1 RCT in the verse?
No, Hikari didn't even think that he could survive. He thought he had to blow the lightning out of his nose or he would have been cooked. So what I'm saying, and what you didn't track earlier, was that if Arame was so much faster than Jackpot Hikari, she definitely could have just ended the fight by just headshotting him, just freezing his fucking head, bashing that shit in. But she didn't because she couldn't. Despite having every motivation to do so if she could.
I think there's a few flaws with this, and I think I'm gonna go back to the original. I'm gonna go back to the fucking original thing that you said, that hey, like or at least the original thing that I said, that hey, these are casual Arame attacks and these aren't casual Kashimo attacks. We actually have a direct point of comparison, because you tried telling me that Kashimo could still dish out comparable damage to Arame in base, even though it is prep and lightning rod. You gotta remember, these are two characters that are very similar. These are like two of the only examples we have in series of characters that have cursed energy with attributes, right? It's confirmed to us for both of these characters that Kashimo's curse technique isn't lightning. It's just that his cursed energy has the natural characteristics of lightning, and it's not that Arame's curse technique is specifically ice. It's just that his natural curse energy just so happens to have like ice properties, right? So
wait, Arame just wait. That's not true. Arame does not have a special cursed energy characteristic.
yes,
That's
he
never stated.
does. I can try to find it. I don't know where it is, but that is true.
No,
That is just
the
true.
only people who are confirmed to have special characteristics are Hikari and Kashimo. They're the only two.
You're talking about the Hikari thing that his thing does more punches?
Yeah,
or more
Hikari
punches?
has rough sandpaper cursed energy. Kashimo is electric. Arame does not have frozen or cold cursed energy. That's not stated anywhere.
Let me find. I'm
Bro's
like
never finding that.
I'm like 99% sure that scan exists. Let me see if it's in the fan book.
This nigga's argument is living on hopes and dreams.
Bro's
Nah, I'm
lying.
just playing.
Glimmer of hope argument. Geo.
Yo, don't interrupt. That's fucked up, man. Also, by the way, Poizen Brown, sorry. I'm not trying to be rude when I like raise my voice or some shit. I get
No,
passionate.
you're good.
I get passionate.
Cheaper.
Tell you shit.
Okay, it's not set in the fucking thing here. Yeah, it doesn't say it on Arame's page. But yeah, I mean, doesn't really change much for me. The fact that Kashimo needs like significant prep to even have comparable AP to Arame is a little crazy to me. Especially because Arame is able to do this in her base without seemingly much exertion. Because you said it yourself, she's able to fight 20 minutes. And 20 minutes, she's seemingly just doing this shit over and over. Because if she was getting worn out, she would have just lost. So she'd also be going back and forth. Because that fight is so beneficial in that domain to Hikari, the fact that if she outlasted it would have to mean she was losing the interactions in there.
I'll say this much. The one thing I think Arame might have over Kashimo is Arame's confirmed to have RCT, Kashimo's not. So there's two reasons I think Arame outlasted Kashimo. One, it might be the RCT advantage as part of it, and then number two, as you know, Kashimo literally expended like all or most of his cursed energy when he landed in the water in some sort of effort to like chloride or cloxide poison Hikari. So I'll say this much. I actually think, again, look, you can say it requires prep. I'll just say that Kashimo has the combat ability and speed to pull it off against somebody. Like, he has the functional battle capability. He has the functional speed. He has the durability. All he was lacking was maybe RCT. But if he had RCT and if he didn't have to dispel all his cursed energy, I absolutely think he would have done just as well as
mean
Arame.
nothing. Yeah, he had the durability, but is Hikari notoriously a heavy hitter? No, Kashimo doesn't really have durability.
Yes, he's stronger than Yuta. He's on Yuta's level, if not stronger.
I said wait. What AP does Hikari have that's on the level of Yuta?
He's just stated to be stronger than Yuta and Jackpot. That's never contradicted.
Wait. One, we still haven't agreed on that scan. But then two,
we don't have to agree.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't know. But then two, if we're specifically talking about durability, it could be an overall combat prowess. He could be stronger because obviously this guy's immortal. Nothing of that shows me he can output AP of that level.
No, I've never bought that argument. I've never bought that argument.
Then what AP does he have?
I'll tell you why.
If he had good AP, he would have done significant damage to
Kashimo I'll tell you why.
Or to Arame. But he does 0 damage to both, and he fights both of them under Jackpot.
Do you think that Hikari would be stated to be stronger than Yuta? That Yuta would think so? That even Gojo might possibly think so? If Hikari was just a glamorized punching bag? Like he was a 4-minute, 11-second punching bag? Yeah. No, that's autistic. There is no world.
Well, I think the comparison in the first place is autistic. Right. I mean, we see Yuta
No, wait, there is no world.
He's called the second strongest sorcerer. He's speedrunning this shit. He's been the strongest since he's popped up. When you look at them side by side, they're like stronger. This guy has a better domain. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I think he's a better overall fighter. I do think they're relative. I think Hikari might even be physically more impressive because, like I said, there is absolutely no world. There's absolutely no world in which Yuta and Gojo are like, that guy is. I'm just gonna say this. Wait. I don't care about that. First of all, I think Zero. Okay, I don't care about that. What I'm gonna say is, I don't think there's, because what you just said is it blows my mind. I don't think there's any world in which Yuta and Gojo are seriously going, yeah, Hikari's on Yuta's level, if not stronger, but by that we mean he just gets the shit kicked out of him because he's an immortality merchant. No, I absolutely believe his total combat prowess, which is to say his speed, his durability, his AP is on that level, and we see it's on that level when he's going relative with Kashimo. Kashimo's not a slouch. Kashimo, they're going relative.
Okay.
It's just true.
Two things. One, that circular base Kashimo doesn't have any scaling outside of Hikari himself. So trying to say, oh yeah, he's hanging with base Kashimo, that's impressive. You're using Kashimo to scale Hikari, so that doesn't work. Second, or you're using Hikari to scale Kashimo, so using Kashimo to scale Hikari
It's
doesn't
only
work.
circular if you ignore the two statements by two credible people.
No. But yeah, and I'm telling you the statements, and I'm telling you those two statements. You're gassing the fuck out of them. One, all Gojo says is that
it's like
they're in
Gojo
like
and
the
Yuta
same. Wait. Gojo said all Gojo says is that they're in the same ballpark of talent. You know who is also in that statement? Todo. Is Todo strong?
Why are
as strong
you?
as Yuta?
Okay, here's my question. Why are you repping Todo? Why are you repping Ino and Nanami's statements, but you're not repping Gojo statements? Why is Ino your go-to
I go by what's
source?
consistent.
But
I go
what?
by what's consistent.
So you don't think it's consistent? You don't think it's
Hikari's
consistent
as strong
that
as Yuta?
Yuta? Wait. You don't think it's consistent that Yuta, who's a child prodigy, and Gojo, who has special eyes that allows him to see your cursed energy and cursed energy manipulation, you don't think it's consistent for those two to be credible when talking about somebody's power level?
Well, to be there, okay. I think you're kind of misnomering what I said. I'm saying they're not consistent in the sense of when we look at other statements and other feats in the series, it's not consistent that way. Great, I just threw that word out. I don't even know what the fuck misnomer means, bro.
Misnomer means like it's not the right, like you're
I'm just throwing words. I'm just throwing words to sound smart. I'm just throwing words to sound smart.
No, you're fine, bro. You're pulling an infinity. You're
of course, I think I sound really smart actually. But
I think you do.
Thank you. But
Bro
what's
is
it
not
called?
smart.
I think one, I bring up the Toto comparison to say that like, hey, yeah, statements are bullshit. But if you want to say why are you repping these statements over these statements, I rep what's consistent. I'm not consistent by what characters should on paper be a more consistent source. Now I do think that is a metric. I just think that metric falls flat on its ass in JJK. You know this. I've said this a million times. I think unless you're Sukuna, your perception of strength fucking sucks. And even Sukuna's isn't the greatest because I mean we see with Ryu, right? I can go down the rabbit hole of bad JJK scaling.
You just contradicted yourself. You just contradicted yourself because you just said that Sukuna is the only credible source, but then you just said that you use Ino and Nanami as credible sources.
Yeah, no. I think for the most part, people are bad sources. That doesn't mean every single thing that they say is bad, right? I'm just gonna look at it certainly, right? Certain characters have like pretty bad streaks of being like wrong. I think an example, let me give you a Lookism example. You know, Eugene has been wrong about every single word of scaling he's uttered in the last 130 chapters. He's supposedly a smart character. We all consider him fucking stupid, right?
Yeah, but there's an obvious reason for that. The obvious reason being that A, Eugene is not a fighter, which means he lacks perspective, and that B, Eugene does not have special analytical properties that allows him to analyze
he does have analytical properties. Wait.
Not in the sense that Gojo does. Not in the sense that Gojo does.
It doesn't need to be in the sense that Gojo does, because if you're trying to make it within a Lookism, making sense within Lookism, you don't need Gojo as a reference. We just need it to make.
Do you think it matters if you're a fighter when you're analyzing other? Do you think fighters might have a better, just in general, fighters might be better at analyzing other fighters?
To some degree.
Therefore, that might be. Yeah, that's probably why Eugene is not the best at it, even though he's a genius in other fields.
But we also know he's the other metric that you give, the other category is analytical. This guy is one of the most analytical people in series. He's supposed to be the guy that is smart. His whole job is analyzing fighters and trying to come up with stronger people, train stronger people up, make stronger gangs. That's his whole purpose. So I think
I don't care.
He might not be a fighter.
We can use. Poizen. I know you care about this because I know you're like involved in the political scene. Some of the people with the worst takes on vaccines, the most retarded fucking don't vaccinate your kids, vaccines cause autism, are fucking biologists and people with PhDs and doctorates in other medical fields.
Yeah.
These are people with generally superb analytical ability and intelligence, but because they're out of their depth in a field they're not familiar with, but they're pompous enough to think they have a real fucking opinion on it, they'll give the most retarded takes to mankind.
So
I think it's to be expected. Eugene's probably similar.
No,
but
I get the
jujutsu.
I just think it's a bad example. I think that's a terrible example, right?
Why?
Like, there's a scientist out there that could probably think the fucking earth is flat, but what are the chances that a scientist, like a genuine scientist, is actually thinking the earth is flat? Probably
that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying
you said
even
anti-vax. You
among
said anti-vax. No, I know you
no
said
no no.
anti-vax. The point I'm trying to get
I'm not
across
saying
is a fringe
okay.
idea in science that isn't widely accepted, being accepted by some people
But when
that
you say
would have some
it's a fringe
credibility.
idea,
I think that's silly.
when you say it's a fringe idea, I don't think you understand how specialized scientific fields are. My point is that there's a lot
Do
of
you not
people
think
who have
anti-vax
specialized.
is fringe?
Hold on. My point is that there's a lot of specialized fields, and a lot of people in specialized fields do have analytical ability, but only as it pertains to those fields, and they have a certain arrogance about them.
But if you're gonna use
To be clear,
use vaccines as an example.
to be clear, which is wholly hold on, which is wholly true of Eugene, But what I'm saying is that the specialization we're talking about, the special.
You said it's wholly true for Eugene. You just wait. You said it's wait. You just said obviously people are gonna be good at what they're good at, and you said this is wholly true for Eugene, and I said Eugene's whole purpose is to analyze fighters. So you just said Eugene is good at analyzing fighters. Thus
Eugene's whole purpose is not to fucking analyze fighters. Eugene's purpose is not to fucking. He thinks
it's to analyze.
You
don't think that's
he thought that Yusong was gun level. He thought that Yusong and Maniac were gun level. This
and
thing
he
is
had
not.
good reason
He's
to
not
think
analyzing fighters like that.
He
He's not analyzing fighters like that.
Think so. He had good reason to think so.
He did not. He had arrogance and he was pompous, and he thought that because he was smart in one field, he was smart in another. So hold on, and Gray, I saw what you said. Gray, I saw what you said. What this ties back into?
They're scaling to the Kings and they're scaling to Tom Lee.
Hold on, Gray. What this ties back into?
He had every reason to think this.
What this ties back into is that it's not surprising when niggas who are out of their field or out of their depth, who are arrogant and cocky, when they make false promises or false assessments because they think they're smarter than they really are in this field, that's not surprising. But when we're talking about analyzing jujutsu sorcery strength, and we're talking about Yuta Okotsu, the child prodigy, and Satoru Gojo, the second strongest sorcerer ever, with the greatest analytical ability in the series as it pertains to cursed energy, yeah, I think these guys are more credible sources than Ino, who's a fucking fodder Nanami dick sucker.
Kenjaku isn't a credible source.
I think Gojo's way more credible. Gojo's way more credible than Kenjaku. Yeah. Gojo correctly predicted. Gojo correctly predicted that Yudo would beat Kenjaku.
That doesn't matter. This isn't a matter. This isn't a matter of who is more predictable between the two, or who's more correct on average between the two.
Wait, making correct predictions has.
Wait. Shut up for a second. Let me give an argument. Damn, Nick. That's
important. I don't think bro, that's just the scientific process, is making predictions.
Bro. How the fuck are you gonna sit here and in one breath try to tell me okay, you can't compare these two and say Gojo's better than Kenjaku at takes, right? He has better takes on average. That literally means nothing, because your original point wasn't this character has better scaling than this character who has better scaling than this character, and you're using this character. No. The scaling, the reasoning we're using is these characters in series have every reason to be a valid source. Kenjaku in series has every reason to be a valid source. Every reason in series dictates that him and Gojo and Sukuna, all three of them, should be valid sources. Yeah, we see not only are all three of them, but other people are consistently bad sources. Kenjaku's a bad source multiple times, and you seemingly agree he isn't the greatest source, or else he wouldn't have instantly thrown him under the bus below Gojo. Sukuna seemingly also isn't the greatest source, because not only is he the smartest when it comes to cursed energy, he's also the best fighter, yet he also underestimated Ryu the first time.
So what's your point? Some people are better sources than others. I agree. Some people are better sources than others.
But no. Yeah, some people are better sources than other. But then if your only basis for why somebody's a good source is to say, hey, they should have the in-series credentials to be this good, I think that's horseshit. I think how we determine what's a good source or what's not a good source is we look at that character's track history. Because I'm not speaking gibberish. If we both agree that the series makes no sense and multiple characters that by all means and factors mean or should be very, very credible sources, like Sukuna, which you already agreed is a not credible source, like Kenjaku, which you already agreed is not a credible source, right? You already agreed to all of these things. Then I don't know how in the same breath you can go on and then say what you're saying before. It makes no sense.
Wait, is a recording bot still in? Okay, recording bot still. So can you say on recording? You're saying on recording that the credentials of a person does not matter when it comes to
No,
determining who's
that's
a
not what
good
I
source or
said.
not.
I think it matters, but it gets outweighed by the factuality of their statements, which is what I am saying. You're
Okay, so
because
when
what
Gojo,
other
so
reason
okay,
what other
so
reason
let's
do you
look
think
at it.
Jaku's a bad source?
So let's look at it. So not only because here's the thing: if you want to say that that's cool, then I'll just go a step further and say we can treat Gojo's statement being approved of by Akari, by Yuta. We can treat that as some sort of corroborative evidence. We
I
could
think you
treat
just
that
don't want
as
to debate Gun Gojo.
what's it called in science?
Also, they
Peer
all
review.
disagreed.
We
Wait.
So
They didn't
so
corroborate it. Maki
even if you want to
disagrees.
say that,
Maki says she
Maki's
wants
a
to go
dumb
first.
bitch. Maki's a dumb bitch. Maki
You're
doesn't know shit.
sexist.
I'm tired of pretending Maki's not a dumb, stupid
You're
bitch.
stupid.
He's a dumb fucking retard
We
bitch.
can go down the
He doesn't
reason.
know
Wait.
anything.
You're gonna lose this argument so bad. Do you want to argue Maki's IQ? You're gonna lose this point so bad. I promise you for it.
Total had to tell her that he couldn't swap her because she didn't have curse energy. She's a dumb fucking bitch. She doesn't know shit. She's so fucking dumb. She didn't know Total couldn't swap her. She didn't know Total couldn't fight. She did not know Total couldn't swap her. Total had to explain he could only swap shit with cursed energy. He unironically had to say that. He unironically had to tell her that.
You done?
She's a dumb bitch, bro. Bro, take all this credit. Take all this credit you're giving to Maki. Give it to fucking Kusa. Give it to anybody else. Give it to Kusa. I don't give a fuck, bro. Just take it away from
my
Maki.
Kusakabe agenda. But let me go down the rabbit hole of why you're actually so unbelievably wrong and stupid here. One, she has some of the best IQ demonstrations in series. We see her pop up to Nayua and figure out his ability perfectly and fully count it in her head with only minimal interactions. We also see in Shinjuku, she's able to comment and give insights on parts of Gojo and Sukuna's fight that other fighters aren't able to. We also see her comment on things that others aren't able to. We also see other heavenly restriction users have an amazingly good answer.
Wait, I'm sorry. You gotta be more specific. You gotta be more specific. What do you mean she comments on shit others aren't able to?
Yeah, I will be.
Wait to see it.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. Heavenly restriction users just by default seemingly have a very good intuition into IQ. Toji on one glass or on one glance instantly figure out what a cursed spirit was for, how it worked, and what the conditions to activating it were.
Toji's IQ feats are not Maki's IQ feats. We are not doing this. We are not doing this.
This stems from heavenly restriction, though.
No, it does not.
Yeah,
Yes,
wait.
First
of all, even if you wanted to argue this, even if you wanted to argue this, even if you wanted to argue that her intuition was an effect of the heavenly restriction, Toji just has much more experience with the heavenly restriction. He has decades worth of more experience with the heavenly restriction. You cannot quantify that Maki has nearly enough experience in comparison to Toji to say that his IQ feats translate to her. You just can't do it. As for the Naoya shit, as in he's been fighting with it and operating with it for years and years and years.
I agree he's probably had more versatile experience. He's probably fought more varying opponents and he's been around longer. But you remember wait. We know she fought better competition. One, we know Toji never fought the upper echelon of Jujutsu Society. He never decided to actually fight the Zenin clan. He never went through that. The only high tier he fought were Geto and Gojo. And which don't get me wrong, the high tiers, but Maki fights better competition.
He was doing assassin work for a decade. Poizen.
Yeah, assassin work against bombs.
Wait, Poizen. Let me ask you this.
He could assassinate people off screen. Who gives a fuck?
This is a textbook. This is a textbook composition fallacy. This is a textbook composition fallacy.
Maki's called.
Wait. You agree that all of Einstein's achievements were enabled by human cognition and reasoning skill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so because you have human cognition and reasoning skill, do you think all of Einstein's IQ feats translate to you?
No. But that's not what I'm doing here. That's not what's happening here.
Well, it is. You are making a composition fallacy. You're saying that because Maki has the same categorical structure in terms of
I'm saying if we have
Toji,
this thing,
all of the feats are translated.
No. I'm saying if we have this thing, right? So your thing was disanalogous for a few reasons. One, heavenly restriction acts as a massive amp, right? That it acts as an amp for things like for your like kind of perception, right? Maki comments on this because everything's kind of going slow motion for her. She's able to see things she wasn't able to before. She's able to actually feel the flow of cursed energy, and she can feel invisible things, something that most sorcerers have been shown to be incapable of doing, right? Because most sorcerers don't even know that Sukuna is shooting slashes. A lot of them do, most don't. But moving on from that, if it's an amplifier, then I'd say, hey, what's a pretty simple way to because you said you said experience, and let's say even throw in battle IQ. If this thing is acting as an amp, then I think we can take one look at base Maki, determine that she's a pretty smart fighter, and say, hey, if you give her a massive like IQ amp, it's pretty safe to say she's.
What is
really
she?
fucking
Wait.
smart.
What did she do pre-awakening?
She stated a weapons master. She stated a weapons master. What the fuck?
Please conclude.
What does that have to do with
please. I'm begging
IQ?
you, please
This is a battle.
conclude.
Wait, battle IQ. This is what we're talking about the whole time. What?
Being good at I'm so confused. Wait, being good at brandishing weapons makes you a battle IQ master? What the fuck?
Being able to use weapons properly, being a
No.
master at using weapons is
No.
good battle IQ. Yes.
No.
What?
No.
What? Why?
Who is this retard sucking your dick, bro?
Will, relax.
Yeah, like
No,
holy
no,
fuck.
please conclude.
No,
because
get
they've
off
done
his
this,
dick,
like,
retard.
30 minutes and
Like,
nothing, and
bro,
they've gone nothing
using
down.
weapons, yes. Learning how to use a weapon is battle IQ, yes. Knowing a martial art, knowing a combat skill is battle IQ and a skill, yes. I know that might be a hard.
Everyone in
concept after how there's
Jujutsu society knows fucking martial arts and weaponry.
Yes,
bro.
but are they
It's
all
like,
called weapon
this
masters?
is standard training. Are they weapon masters?
Yes, Maki's called a weapon master because that's all she could do.
Does that make her one of the only one? I'm so confused.
I don't know if it makes her one of the only ones, but at very minimum
But
puts her at
I'm
like
just
the
so
pinnacle.
confused. We have people like Mechamaru, who is manufacturing mass robot armies, strategizing in a way that impresses Mahito and Geto. We have people like Megami, who from the start was able to distinguish people's curse techniques at basically a glance. We have people like Gojo with his insane analytical ability, and we have people like Toto with the IQ statements, with the strategies in the middle of
You
high
just
intensity
brought up
fights.
the
And
only
you
two
and
people.
you
The
think
people
Maki,
that you
and
brought
you
up
think
that
Maki's
did
a
what
crazy
Toji did.
genius?
Wait,
You think
the
Maki's a
only
crazy
two
genius
people.
because she's good with a sword?
The only two people that you brought up that have comparable battle IQ to what I brought up Toji having are Mahito and Sukuna, which you admitted
Because
are both
because I
hyper
don't think
geniuses.
Toji's feats translate to Maki. I don't.
He
think
took
they
1
translate
year.
to
What? Wait. I'm repping Toji.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes. I'm repping Toji.
You guys are actually bullshitting. Shut the fuck up, both of you.
Dude,
What's
this
wrong
is what
with
I have
you?
to argue
What is
against.
wrong
Nigga. You
with
see
you?
this, bro? I'm talking to a wall, bro. Like, this is what I have
Never
to
heard a
argue
nigga say,
against, bro.
"Oh, I forgot," and "Oh, I was just saying words to be smart." Like, you guys need to kill yourselves soon.
This is why I like arguing with
So
Fork.
wait,
These
so
are
wait.
both
What's the
bullshit, and
what's the
it's so
importance of
different.
Toji having crazy battle IQ? I forgot.
I'm not gonna. I don't remember, but I think he does just have.
don't
massive
remember.
battle IQ. we went down this rabbit hole one way or another. But
Okay. It
all
cancels
we
out.
ended
Then.
up
It
on,
cancels
all
out.
we
Then. You
ended
don't
up
remember
on,
why it's important.
yeah, all we can agree on is that he does have good battle IQ.
Who fucking cares? Kashimo by speed blitz in one shot.
He does have better battle IQ though. Also, he does not speed blitz. What the fuck?
I guess
Toji has better
he'll be smarter, bro. I guess he'll be smarter before he gets speed blitzed in one shot. I don't know what to tell
Wait,
you.
Toji has better speed feats.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
nah.
Are you sure you want to do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Look in VC justification, and this is where you lose the debate officially.
There's gonna be some
This is Toji blocking a sure hit attack that we know for a fact worked on him because. Actually, I'll give it to you. You might know the scan already, but this sure hit we know was actually in effect on him, even though he is a heavenly restriction user.
Are you talking about the Am I Pretty Lady?
Ghetto. Yes.
He literally got hit by her
fastest
attack.
he got hit by the first one because he didn't know it was activated, but once it got activated, he blocked every single one after. I'll send the scan before.
Wait, you
I'll send the
understand?
pages
Okay,
before.
he got hit by the first one. You understand that the attacks in a domain expansion are not necessarily sure hits, right?
Well, we see this one being a sure hit. We see it spawn on his ear. We don't see it travel. The ones
Yeah, but
that,
the other ones don't spawn. The other ones don't spawn on his ear
Yeah, but that's done for
or on his body at all.
That's done for portrayal.
No.
Wait,
There's no way.
wait,
Wait.
so the other ones are.
No.
Wait, so
If
wait,
the author,
wait. Let me
I think they
wait.
are
Let me make
sure
sure I get this straight. Let me make sure I get this straight. You're
They are
saying that a
sure
sure hit which spawns on a sure hit spawns on your body, but these ones didn't spawn on
Yeah,
his
I think
body.
Koji's
They
out
are sure
crazy.
hits, but they were
Yeah,
just
I
there for
think-
betrayal.
I
Right?
think yes.
Why?
Yeah, I think he's that crazy.
Why is it portrayal? Why is it just not a sure hit? Why is it just not sure hit? Why is it portrayal?
Because it's called a sure hit.
The first one's called a sure hit.
No.
I don't even think it's called. I don't even think it's called. I don't even think it's called a sure hit. It's just implied to be a sure
Toji calls
hit.
it a sure hit. No, Toji said, it
He
activated.
calls the first one a sure hit.
He says that it activated its innate domain and applied it to its sure hit, and then that goes off. Right now, unless we want to be Spurgs here and troll and say, I posted these two skins in VC justification. I could tag you in the channel. But unless we want to Spurg here and say that thing popped its domain to only launch one sure hit and then it just went to attacking him normally after, which I think would be silly.
You know, sure hits go on cooldown, right?
Huh?
Sure hits can go on. First of all, sure hits can go on cooldown. Second of all,
Potentially, is this one going on cooldown?
Wait. We've seen stronger characters with more experienced, elaborate domains like Dagon have cooldown. So, it would not surprise me if this one was on cool. Yes, and so it would not surprise me if this one.
One, I don't buy that, but
Hold
two,
on,
I
wait.
think
It would not surprise me if this one's on cooldown, and then B, I think it's very ironic. You're saying it's Spurgy to deny the sure hits. If he's capable of avoiding or evading or just bypassing something that's a sure hit, which should be the fastest in burst, why did he get blitzed by purple? Which is not.
He didn't know it was a thing.
He
didn't know it was a thing. He says he didn't know it was a thing.
But he got blitzed by it. It doesn't matter. If
Also, he was slower than it. Well, if you're, but
that's what I said.
I think that as he's
so he was slower than something that's slower than a sure hit, but you expect us to believe that he's faster than a sure hit.
Well, I think he's. Well, he didn't dodge the sure hit when he didn't know it was there. But the moment he knew it was there, he's able to block it. That's why I said he didn't know it was there. That's relevant.
Wait, none of this matters. You just admitted that Hollow Purple. You just admitted Hollow Purple was faster.
No. But then two things.
Did you hear that? He just admitted Hollow Purple was faster.
No, I didn't. I also said Toji's slower in that state.
You said he was slower than Hollow Purple, which is not a sure hit.
No. I think he's slower than the Toji that fought Ghetto.
Because
don't run this argument, Forks. It won't go well for you.
Because
I've started metas. Because he's out of character, and that matters in JJK. If you're out of your mentality, you fight weaker. And Toji outright just says that he only fights under contract, like money contract. It was his whole deal with his wife. I'm sure you know this. His contract ended when he killed Ghetto, or when he supposedly killed Ghetto, and he already got paid for this. And so when Gojo pulls up on him, Toji himself says, I shouldn't be fighting this. I'm not under contract. This isn't like me. I should not be fighting this. But every bone in my body's telling me I should do this. So he ends up fighting.
So you
he loses. Let me finish. Let me get this last sentence. And so he fights this. Doesn't know purple happens. Purple happens, which again he didn't know about. But then he says at the end, "Damn, wait." He says, "Damn, I lost because."
Sure hit.
Let me finish. At the very end, he says, "Damn, I shouldn't have. I lost the moment I decided to take this fight. I shouldn't have taken this fight."
He doesn't even say it. He doesn't even say it's a sure hit. There's actually just no proof.
Change
it's a sure
anything.
Hit.
It is a sure hit. What?
It does. He doesn't say the ones that he does that he deflects are sure hits. They're just not sure hits. They're just not sure hits. I'm taking crazy pills. I'm taking crazy pills.
Then what do you think it did?
The demons. The demons are around.
Because this isn't
holy shit. It's not a sure hit. It's not a sure hit.
This isn't even a domain. Wait. This isn't even like a domain like amp thing that she's trying to do. Because this domain doesn't exist. It was an innate domain manifestation. She used a binding vow to make it happen. She's not even getting the domain amp from this. So she's not getting the territorial amp. She's not getting like a technique.
Yeah, I wasn't asking about the domain amp. I'm just saying.
No.
There's
What is
this? There's just no proof the attacks.
Well, it is.
I have a question. It's all fan fiction. It's all fan fiction.
We see
calls
it
this the 007, bro. 0 feet, 0
we
statements, 7 hopes and dreams, bro.
Wait, I have a question, TK.
What?
Did you
we see it
have you
spawn on
posted
her.
any scans?
No, nobody's asking for scans in this fuck ass debate.
Oh, okay. So yeah, TK won. They're not asking.
No, Poizen won because he actually sent scans.
No,
nigga.
he did.
The debate hasn't even ended. Can you cockrider shut up, bro?
No, okay.
With all due respect, though,
if I gave a fuck about what
should've.
MBDTF like said about the debate, you would have been the judge, but you aren't. Shut up, bro.
All right, so
I'm
listen.
saying,
It probably
I got Poizen,
it probably
right?
It probably
I got
should
you.
What
have.
is your
It probably
reasoning for TKA winning?
Because
Oh
TKA
my
had better
gosh.
argumentation. He had better
What better
argumentation.
argumentation? The nigga did
Bro,
back
he
up.
always
And
Yo,
said
hey, I don't give a
he
fuck about two randoms randomly arguing about a debate verdict that didn't happen yet. Please shut the
All right,
fuck
hold
up
up.
or take it to a different
Alright,
VC.
Okay,
okay. Pipe
Poizen,
down.
we should wrap this up soon
He
though because
lied.
I gotta
Yeah.
go. I gotta go
Uh,
bed soon.
let-
I gotta put on my ASMR Dami Mommy whispers
I
me to
think
sleep.
I'll wrap this up. I'm not to give like final conclusions for this whole thing and have to give a final judgment if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna just let y'all know now. I'm gonna have to rewatch this shit. Y'all niggas lost me about like 30 minutes ago, like really badly.
No.
Y'all
dude,
niggas
Okay.
were so
verdicts-
badly
verdicts
running
maybe
through
that we
points
both
that it was
lost.
bad,
Everyone
bro.
lost.
Like I got lost,
It's
bro.
okay.
I will say that I'll rewatch it and then I'll give you guys.
I think me and Forks were trading some points. I think he beat me on like one of them, but he got lucky.
So give me
But
give me.
do you want to give your conclusion first?
Yeah, I guess so. Even though Tiga's rewatching the recording. Yeah, I mean, in conclusion, look, I mean, there were a few things. It feels like a lot of it, I'm sure you guys could tell if you go back and watch the recording, a lot of the arguments Poizen were giving were living on hopes and dreams. You know, he even admitted some of it was very headcanon-y. I feel like I
Hey,
came
I
with
also
more
said that wasn't an argument,
more factual bases. You know, I feel like I came in with more of a knowledge clipping element because, you know, I'm very interested in the substance. I'm not very interested in rhetoric. But yeah, the argument was, look, base
Okay, Mr. Screaming and
Kashimo,
crying about my scaling.
me. So anyway, look, the argument was that base Kashimo is relative to base Akari. This is perfectly
Wait.
accepted. I think everybody
Wait,
agrees,
wait.
including Poizen.
TKA, the scans that you posted, those were before the debate, right? But
Oh
you're still
my
using
god,
them?
yo, stop
I'm
it,
just
bro.
asking a question. I'm just asking a
Stop.
question.
I'm
You're doing this in the
I'm
middle of
going
a
to-
conclusion. Are you actually
Jones
okay?
I'm gonna Jones strike you. Call me Obama. I'm gonna Jones strike you if you do that again.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah, see what I tell you. Those were
80
not the scans for
so
this debate.
Kashimo, like we said, okay, so Kashimo relative to base Akari, we all agree. I think even Poizen agreed. Base Akari is relative to people like Maki, Yuda, who he thinks are relative to Toji. The thing is, we have statements from Gojo, who I prove the credibility of, along with people like Akari and Yuda, who agree, who are part of the statements as well, that 80% of your potential is going to come down to your curse technique. Now, Poizen said that's not necessarily true. There are other things that matter, like mindset, curse energy, etc. Those things can give you an advantage, but the statement I was using, the statement I was referencing, was very clearly saying if all else is equal, 80% of it will be your curse technique. Even the things Poizen mentioned, like mindset, mentality, curse energy, those are all in service of your curse technique. That is the majority of your power. So if Kashimo, who, by the way, his curse technique is probably more than 80% of his potential, as I mentioned, because it involves a life-ending binding vow, if him at 1/5 power is relative to characters that Toji's relative to, I'm sorry, that nigga's getting beat the fuck up, absolutely eviscerated. I mean, there are a few other. I think if I covered all of them, this conclusion would be way too fucking long. Go check out the recording. I think rhetorically, I think we all know who had the rhetorical edge. Not to be that guy, but you know. I could never keep up with Poizen.
Mr.
I could never.
007 here talking.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with Poizen. You know, it's just embarrassing. But you know, maybe I'll get better in the rhetoric department.
Not gonna lie, forgot. Can I get my conclusions now? I think. Oh, he's muted. So I'm gonna give my conclusions. If he comes and interrupts me, that's fine.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. How the fuck can you hear? How you hear that, bro? I know it's blasting on the speaker, but damn. No more parties in LA. Please,
I can't
baby
hear
girl,
you.
no more parties in LA. Oh, yeah. But what's that shit called? I think we started off by like some pretty wonky scaling on Forks' end and bringing up a few statements. I brought up how I not only disagreed with them off of like a validity standpoint, but also like a lot of them are older like statements from like pre-training arcs. And he did try. I also called him out like trying to like I don't know. He was doing some weird shit during that point. But a few of the skins he brought up were way pre-training arcs, which I do think he lost that training arc point of like, hey, these guys did receive training that was called cheating, and Sukuna acknowledged it. Hakari didn't. I think it's silly to say that they would still compare much, especially since you know Yuda's like also a bigger prodigy and stuff. We also later I specifically brought up how Toto's mentioned in that same Gojo scan that he likes to bring up. And he didn't really respond to that. He just said like, "Oh, why are you taking these random people scans but not Gojo scans?" And I said, oh, I take their scans and not Gojo scans or other people's scans because I think they have a more consistent basis for being like correct, right? And I brought up a bunch of characters that actually no, Forks at first gave his criteria for what would be a good statement from somebody, and he said his criteria was the characters in series credentials. And I said, I think that's horseshit because there's characters in series that have the godliest credentials that me and Forks both agree are ass sources like Kenjaku and Sukuna, which you already agreed to. So I'm like, I don't see why Gojo would be an inherently better sources than the ones I'm bringing up. And I said mine are more consistent because I told him by his logic, Todo is on the level of Yuta, and that's just clearly not the case. I don't think he really addressed it. He just said something about Todo being smart, but like I think it's clear to anybody here, Todo isn't, Yuta level. He's definitely not current Yuta
Yes, he
level.
is.
And,
He's above.
And so I don't know. I think it's also a little crazy to say Hakari's in there, especially because I also brought this up. He also left this uncontested, but that statement like almost certainly is talking about a Yuta that just didn't have domain, because we know one of the trainings that Yuta partook in was that like body swap training, which we know domain training was like a big part of it. We know Yuji partook largely in that for domain training. So it is very likely that Yuta just didn't have a domain at that point. So it was talking about Hakari versus base Yuta, right? I also brought up the possibility of it being talking about an even weaker Yuta, a Yuta that had just gotten Rika right after she disappeared for 3 months. He also didn't really deny that being pretty like probable. So I think, I don't know, all the scaling to try to get her to Kashimo or to try to get her to Arame and stuff, I think failed. And so I don't know. I think Toji has better scaling. I mean, I already showed that he has like some crazy fucking battle IQ. I mean, he already said like he forgot my character was the one with the crazy battle IQ. I showed the speed feats. I know he disagrees with them, but the thing literally says it's a domain with a special curse binding vow, and specifically for those attacks. I mean, Toji gets hit by it once, and it follows exactly how it is described, or how a short hit is described, which is it spawns on you. We see one spawn on him. He says, "Oh, so that's how it is, right?" I interpret that as, "Oh, he just understood it. There's a short hit present here," and then he proceeds to block every single one of them right after, right? Now, Forks brought up about how he would be able to block them on screen if they're supposedly spawn on him in their instant. I just brought up how that's like author fiction portrayal. Obviously, there's some things that author can't like properly portray, and he just didn't address that properly either, unfortunately. I don't know, he just didn't say anything. He's like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. He just made fun of me for it. He didn't like make an argument against it though. But yeah, I know it's crazy, but in a fiction, authors will present things
was pretty
differently.
funny.
It was pretty funny.
You can see.
No, I should have just argued that Toji like did some bullshit where he found like.
Someone save the rack real quick, and then just send me the rack.
I should have just argued, bro. I should have just argued some shit like, oh, Toji just probably found like the edge or corner of the domain, and then the
According
inverted
to that,
spear
thank God there's a recording bot in here.
Yeah, and then like the inverted spear would